want this fight since the end of July. July 28th is when he got the call. He said, I've been ready to go. But I put in hard work to get here. It's that awkward style. I said almost every fight.
He likes to feint, likes to be a little bit herky-jerky. Galachan is a bit more flat-footed. So we'll see how the styles come together.
Yeah, Mastrapa's got those feints going, level changes. There you see him go down low to the body with the right hand.
Yeah, he's got to bring his feet with his punches a little bit better. You see, sometimes Mastrapa smothers himself. Good little combination there by Galachan. When Mastrapa steps in, there's times he's smothering himself. There he goes again, a little bit, stepping in a little bit too hard there after the initial shots.
Gentlemen, that left hook has been money since the opening punch.
Yeah, he's got to keep the right hand up, or he's also got to stop squaring up. There can be a couple of different adjustments made, and he's got to stop staying up too. You know, you can get underneath that hook as well, bend his knees a little bit. Any of the three will work.
Nice straight right hand there from Mastrapa from the outside.
That's one thing, it's hard to prepare at this level. The first 10 fights, you guys have been through it when it's who you fighting. I don't know, some guy, he's 6-0, don't know much about him. Gotta be
Jimmy, it's gotta be easier now though, man. We at least they got YouTube. I remember searching for VHS tapes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Early in my career, making calls, couldn't find them, or maybe you get a couple of rounds of a fighter and that's it, you know?
A little sparring, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but also if you have any amateur background, or from my case, like my kickboxing background, you never know who you're fighting, ever. You just showed up.
These guys are spoiled now.
Yeah, exactly.
YouTube? What's YouTube?
We're showing our age here at ProBox TV. Jimmy Smith, of course, alongside Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi. We're going to be the 80-year-olds in the balcony.
And we say that as we're broadcasting for a YouTube channel.
Right, exactly. We're on digital media, complaining about digital media. That's how it works.
Well, regardless of the old men all yapping here, we actually have a pretty good fight here. These guys are scrapping back and forth.
Little showboating from Mastrapa, end of round number 1. Mastrapa, you know, we talked about this fight, Chris. You kind of made the face. Like, you know, Mastrapa's tough. The guy he lost is pretty good. Fought maybe too tough, a little too early, but a tough guy.
Yeah, and Galachan, I mean, we've seen all of his fights. He's been on our air. He fought a lot of no-hopers. And not on our air, rather. He fought on our cards prior to our TV airing, but he fought a lot of no-hopers. Now, this is in terms of who he's fought, this is a big step up in class.
And that's why he's on the on-air part of our
Right,
broadcast.
exactly. He's graduated to the on-air portion. But listen, if you're on air here, you got to fight somebody.
Yeah.
And one thing, you know, people don't know necessarily about the fight world, when you're first starting, guys who put butts in seats, local guys tend to get those fights. They put a lot of butts in seats, so they tend to get those fights. At a certain point, hey, you want to fight on ProBox TV? All right, you got to step up. That's the thing tonight.
It's always nice to be a ticket seller and be able to win, though.
Exactly. Put those together.
Promoters love those guys.
You get a star, ladies and gentlemen. Round number 2, Kristen Galachan versus Renny Mastrapa.
Mastrapa came out with a hard, stiff jab. But first time I think I've seen him throw a jab. He was leading with left hooks in the first round and big overhand rights. Now he's showcasing that left-hand jab.
Somebody's yet to still grab this fight by the horns, man. You know, he has 6 rounds.
Yeah, not the number to have a slow start, right?
Yeah, Mastrapa at least tries to hold his position, tries to be able to fire back, at least to be able to fire back when Galachan is done. A lot of times when Mastrapa attacks Galachan, if he's not landing, it's also Galachan completely abandoning the pocket. These little combinations of the steel moments here, nothing really gets through too soon.
Nice left hook.
A lot of your turn, my turn, though, champion.
Yeah,
guys, hands up, you go, I go.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying at least Mastrapa sometimes holds his ground so he can avoid being you turn, my turn, and actually punch in between. Galachan, when something comes his way, he's bailing out completely, so he's not able to counter punch because of that. He's not holding his position at all. See, there he goes again. He gets out of the way, but goes straight back, but not in a position to fight.
Mastrapa leads with his head in his face, though.
Yeah, so I was saying before, he smothers himself. He gets there before the punch does. And that will lead to a head clash, like you said, Chin.
Got a couple already.
Decent reactions there from Mastrapa. When you said, Chevy, he holds his ground. He's able to still avoid punches and be within counter-punching range. We just haven't really seen him pull that trigger on those counters.
Galachan 5-0-1. Renny Mastrapa 3-1, 2 knockouts, and those 3 wins.
So again, Galachan bailing out too much, bounce off the ropes to try to come back. Galachan is going to have to try to figure out that balance. Here he gets off first, a couple of decent shots.
Another good left hook. Gallatin really hasn't been able to read that and react properly. He's been hit a lot with that left.
Yeah, that's been the only real consistent punch from either man in this contest thus far, has been that leaping lead left hook from Mastrapa.
I'm surprised you don't see it more. He's got a pretty good target on it. And Gallatin stays up high, stays squared up. I'm surprised you don't see more of it. And Gallatin does these little combinations. Not a lot gets through there. Some get partially through, but it looks good because Mastrapa doesn't get off any punches.
Like you said, Jimmy, he's winning moments with those, though. It's eye-catching and taking up time.
Watch your head, watch your head. Watch your head.
Again, combination.
But staying busy, to your point, champ.
I like that Gallatin's finishing to the body, though. He's landing that left hook on the elbow side. Even those punches that are blocked by the elbows, you still feel those.
See, those are like the little things that the O gives you, like that little desire extra to make sure you don't lose that O. There's a bit more hustle in Gallatin.
Has been keeping it close with combinations as we end round number 2. Remember, our main show starts at 8 o'clock. Remember, download ProBox TV app. Never miss your boxing news and Wednesday night fights. Great main event. Jarrett Hurd versus Jeison Rosario, 2 former world champions looking for redemption in the ProBox ring.
Great shots there. Gallatin came up with that left hook. But there's that hook we keep talking about from Mastrapa, which can't miss, guys. Gallatin goes straight back. He stays up high. So if Mastrapa's going to miss it, it's going to be him that maybe comes up short. Otherwise, if he gets range on it, he keeps landing it.
You know a fight is close and competitive when the replay shows both guys landing.
The same punch.
There's no one asserting their dominance quite yet.
Round number 3 underway. Christian Gallatin versus Reni Mastrapa. Mastrapa from Cuba. Gallatin from right here says he represents all of Polk County. Got quite an ovation at the start of the fight.
Yeah, he always packs him in here. He's got a good nickname too, your boy. Christian, your boy Gallatin.
Hey, everybody likes me. Everybody likes watching me fight at least.
Ooh, there's that whizzing left hook.
He got down though. You see, Gallatin got underneath it this time.
And an adjustment.
Maybe some adjustment. That time, no.
Champ, can you be a victim of your success, right? A punch lands early, you kind of over-rely on it. Could that be the case with that left hook?
I mean, I would say he should throw it more,
yeah,
but maybe a little more setup. I mean, he's been hooking off the jab at times, but from too far away. If he gets a little bit closer with that punch, I see openings for it.
Going around a little bit blind.
And you see, Gallatin also doesn't make him pay for it either. Right. If anything, he pulls back out. But again, at worst, you're going to miss it. If there's a punch you're either going to land or you're going to miss but not pay for it, you got nothing to lose by continuing to throw it. Counter punches are what dissuade a fighter from continuing to try to use certain kind of offense. And Gallatin has no counter punch.
As you said, champ, make him miss, make him pay. Somebody just misses, that's not a deterrent. Now landing some thudding shots. His left attempt to the left again.
Seems like Mastrapa got that memo. He's like, I'm not paying for these shots. I'm going to come in wild and throw big bombs.
Yeah, he's trying to make a concerted effort here to try to take control of this fight in this round.
Yeah, he's bullying Gallatin at this point.
Gallatin on his bike here for the first time.
A little bit of gamesmanship.
He's saying, where you going? He's saying, where you going? Well, cut him off. It's all part of the gamesmanship, right?
Body shot.
Southpaw stance here. Mastrapa.
Yeah, a lot of overthrowing those shots from Mastrapa, falling forward, falling in.
Southpaw stance working for him though, to a degree, right?
Yeah, he landed a good left hook to the body here. He's been able to walk Gallatin down. Gallatin has those little chippy combinations, but hard to fight effectively when you're on the back foot this way and you're shooting out every time.
But you said there, your turn, my turn. It's just when he decides he's going to go. So if you're going to be your turn, my turn, you got to get off a lot. You got to be your turn a lot of times. You're not going to punch in between the other guys. Offense.
Also, through round 3, could it be a case of, I've felt your chippy little shots, they haven't hurt me. Mastrapa's getting a little braver at this point.
Yeah, of course. You got the feel-out process of the fight is over. Now whoever feels more confident is going to start to try to take over the fight. This round, Mastrapa clearly made that kind of effort.
Certainly the bully is the fighter from Cuba as we end round number 3.
Mira, siga entrando con el jab, no brincas cuando entras, ¿ok? Sí, mira, tira más al cuerpo. Él no usa el cuerpo, ¿sí? Bueno, buen trabajo.
He's trying to swing the last 10 seconds of the round. He's like a champion. He's trying to swing the last 10 seconds of the round. That's when you need to.
You hear me saying, stay with him, stay with him? That's because you're right there at that good angle. Keep working.
Sometimes you got to go 2-3 punches and then you pull out. You got to shelter him.
You're doing good. You taking him to school. Stay alert. I need you to crack him.
I need you to crack him. Sound advice. We're just talking about give your opponent a reason to back up. Little combinations. But Galachan's been throwing in the first 3 rounds, have not yet done that to Mastrapa.
Definitely Mastrapa sort of gained confidence last round. Let's see if he takes the momentum into this round or if Galachan has some answers. You see also Mastrapa getting off first here to start this round. Galachan has to make sure he's not waiting a lot. Again, if you're going to be the kind of fighter who's just your turn, my turn, and is incapable of punching in between your opponent, you're going to have to get off first a lot. It's got to be your turn a lot. And Galachan doing a lot of waiting here early in this 4th round.
Too much backing up for my liking from Galachan, especially with the kind of puncher he is. He's not a big puncher. He's more of a combination guy. And like you said, champ, you got to be busy.
Getting chippy in there. Chippy.
Good. I think that's a good thing. I think Galachan needs to wake up a little bit, put a little more pressure, use his physicality, use his conditioning.
You just talked about the jab, and he goes all the way back to the ropes. Off the jab that he blocked.
A lot of on the back foot, a lot of jumping out too far like that.
Overcommitting the defense. That's one of the reasons he's not able to counterpunch.
Paul, you said it, close rounds, 6 rounds, only 6 rounds in this fight. You can't afford to be the guy backing up and giving the judges a reason to give the other guy the fight.
Yeah, and Galachan is a local guy, so he may get the benefit of close rounds. But rounds 3 and 4, Mastrapa has made a clear effort to try to take over this fight.
Yeah, he feels much more comfortable with what's coming his way. He understands what he has in front of him. And to the point, if you get a guy who's overcommitting to defense, if you throw big shots and they don't fire back, the optics of someone moving away constantly while you're throwing is not good.
You almost feel like it's a little bit of almost a sparring mode these guys are in. They haven't really kicked it up to that next level.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that when they get a little chippy, they're good. All right, I think we need that.
See if the fight breaks out here, right?
Yeah, right. But Galachan actually landed a good hook as well.
Combination in the middle.
Yeah, maybe we'll come up here.
There we go. Fight broke out in round 4.
That's what we keep saying. Yep. It's to hold your ground.
No more your turn, my turn. Galachan punching in the middle.
Mastrapa putting on a lot of pressure here. Not effectively cutting off the ring, but using a lot of effort. Ooh, good left hook there from Galachan. There's our left hook again from the outside from Mastrapa. Catches Galachan backing out straight.
That's one thing you said, though, champ. I don't think Mastrapa has used it as often as he probably could or should.
Yeah, it's been a very effective punch throughout.
Round number 4 comes to a close by the most entertaining round of the fight so far.
Here we see a lot of aggression from Mastrapa. Good body shot there, and then
a good little hook there from Galachan.
Galachan fighting off the ropes. Yep, there was that left hook that landed. Mastrapa says that hit my glove. I don't think it did. I think it landed clean, but that's good gamesmanship from Mastrapa.
He's breathing big.
Especialmente cuando hay cambio, cuando he changed out.
Listen, you're going to have to push him back a little bit more. I want you to continue to take him to school, but you've got to push him back a little more. Stay on his ass. You're doing great. Pick
Galachan's corner thinks he's doing great.
Take him to school and pick up the pressure. He's been going backwards for 4 rounds straight, so I don't know about pressure.
2 rounds left in a 6-round fight. Galachan in the black and white. Spent his whole career here at ProBox. Mastrapa from Cuba in the red and black.
Good point, Jimmy, about the sparring session. It does seem like that. Even Galachan, like it seems like he's having a little more fun, being playful. You know, he landed a left hook and then he goes, ooh. But yeah, not a lot of killer instinct being shown tonight.
Yeah, he's not getting off first, especially to open these rounds a lot. It's Mastrapa consistently getting off first, and even Mastrapa's not doing a great job of getting off first. It's just when Galachan's not getting off, Mastrapa's going to be the one getting off.
Whoever loses is going to think about the punches they didn't throw. Am I wrong, gentlemen?
Yeah. And a little small competitive fight like this, even consistently getting off first allows you to make it look like you're dictating the pace.
We'll see if someone breaks the rhythm here in round number 5. A lot of times when fighters settle into a rhythm, the one who breaks it does something different, gets the advantage. Both guys have kind of settled in. You've said it over and over, champ. Your turn, my turn.
Yeah, Galachan has a lot of opportunities to take advantage of all the extra superfluous motion that Mastrapa is making in between these movements. He's playing with his hands. He's not in position. His feet aren't in the right place. If Galachan were able to attack in between, I think he would have a lot of success.
Good shot.
Left hook.
That's a good eye-catching shot there from Galachan.
One of the better punches he's landed in the last couple rounds.
Left hook's been a money punch for both fighters. No one hurt, no one knocked down, but when there's been something significant landed, it's been that left hook.
There's Mastrapa over-penetrating once again.
Protect yourself at all times.
Ref didn't say break. Galachan kept working. Smart.
Dropped his hands to complain about a low blow to the ref. Drop a mugging a bit now. And Chris, this is what you've pointed out over and over is the lack of footwork from Mastrapa. It's allowed Galachan to get out when he's needed to.
Yeah, it's been a series of over-penetration, cross-stepping, stepping square, going backwards.
Changing stances.
Yeah, changing stances with not any kind of idea behind it.
Now it's Galachan getting off, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to consistently, even those little simple combinations, Galachan will just make a concerted effort to get them off first, instead of getting back here waiting and allowing Mastrapa to get back in there. I think they would serve him just well, because Mastrapa doesn't really do a lot about those little combinations either, and they are catching shots.
And they're nice and crispy. They're short, they're tight, there's not a lot of holes in them. They're good combinations from Galachan when he lets his hands go.
Yeah, I mean, he's not putting everything on them. Actually, he's not putting much on them, but they look good, especially for Mastrapa. They keep Mastrapa from getting off any punches.
A couple of good rounds from the local boy, ya boy, Tristan Galachan.
Yeah, it was a good round for him.
As you said in the beginning, Paulie, 6 rounds. You only need a couple good ones, right?
Yeah.
Hey, boxeo, ¿okay? El más inteligente gana. Sí. Poca agua.
He's not even touching you. Look at your face. I need you to pick up the punch count.
And I need you to throw you.
Be smart like you're doing. Be smart like you're doing. But let's take him to fucking town now. He already went to school. Put the graduation cap on his ass this round. You understand me? Stay sharp like you're doing, but bust this motherfucker's ass. Let's fucking go, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Excitement in the corner of Galachan.
All right, let's see. I want to see how he comes out now. Because typically in the beginning of the round, it's always Mastrapa getting off first for a while. I want to see now if Galachan comes out and starts throwing punches.
And he takes a step back.
Let's see. Still waiting. He hit his trainer on the way out.
That does not count, Paulie. That's not the first punch of the round.
He didn't come out fighting at all, actually. He circled the ring. He still hasn't thrown a punch. We're 15 seconds in.
Once again, Mastrapa going back to that left hook.
And Galachan, we've had him on our shows before. He's an effort guy. He throws combinations, lets his hands go. Not a huge puncher, but he's usually busy. Tonight, not so much.
I guess he's going to box this round like he won the fight already.
Just when his corner said, I need more combinations, need to up the punch count.
Neither man has done much this round.
But at least Mastrapa is trying to hold it. But see, the problem Mastrapa has, the problem Mastrapa has is neither of these guys is going to wow you, right? But Mastrapa doesn't know how to go get you. He knows how to stay still and hope that you fight him, but he doesn't know how to go get you either. That's why every time Galichan goes away, Mastrapa's looked at him like, hey, we'll fight. But Galichan also moves, but doesn't know how to fight on the move. So when he's moving, he's just moving.
Mastrapa doesn't know how to cut up the ring. Exactly. Distance.
He doesn't know how to go get you. So. It's like it's a saying. We have a saying. They go together like a dull knife and old hard bread.
like lamb and tuna fish.
Oil and water in the ring tonight. We can keep going.
What movie reference? What was that?
Coming together.
What movie reference?
You're not gonna get. I don't know which one.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy. That is terrible that I didn't come up with that one. Wow. I thought it was definitely gonna be a movie I didn't see.
Last round, minute 19 left.
Oh, good shot.
Nice overhand right from Galichan.
Speaking of eye-catching,
Your boy's going for it.
Galichan took away the subject matter of the movies and back to the ring with that shot. Let's focus right back on the ring. Good shots there, and also good combination.
And the combination.
He follows it up.
This is that effort I was talking about.
And you called him crisp and short.
Yep, crisp and short. There's no holes in them. Good. Oh,
Good shot there.
good banging shot from Mastrapa. Galichan has shown durability, though. Even in past fights, we've had him on our air. Takes a good shot, just took a good one there. But
And even putting the shots together, again, you figure out ways to win the fight. Right? It's like that difference with the guy with the O and the guy who doesn't have the O. Mastrapa, I feel like, almost has found ways to almost try to lose this fight. Yeah. While Galichan, if there's anything, it's been close, but he's tried to figure out little cheap ways to win the fight with the little combinations, you know, making sure he closes the round stronger, even if he's going to start it slowly.
And you talk about optics. The corner pointed out, your face looks fine. Mastrapa's a little lumped up.
yeah,
Hard not to judge that.
yep. But when you leave with your face, you don't stay pretty for long.
Yeah, those could be butts, too.
Yeah. It was a real bad butt in the first round.
And those butts that he calls, by the way, he calls in.
Exactly.
They are throwing
Nice
till the end.
combination from
Galichan trying to put a
once again.
stamp on it. As the end of round number 6, it will go to the judges. Your boy trying to stay undefeated, 6-0-1. Mastrapa 3-1. But a lack of activity, I would say, in the back half of this fight.
Yeah, I mean, Galichan put it on towards the end. That last round was really good. Best punch landed by either man was that right hand from Galichan in that last round. Here we're going to see a replay from that round. There's that big overhand right there. Nice combinations. Nice combinations here, and then Mastrapa tries to come back. Galichan opens back up with more combinations.
And in a fight that was competitive early, in a fight that sometimes early on in the fight seemed like Mastrapa was figuring it out, it seems like it's Galichan who went and looked for the win or for a way to win the fight, while Mastrapa seems like he looked for a way to lose the fight. I mean,
he really gave it away.
He just gave it away. So
he had a big round 3, big round 4, and then 5 and 6.
I think this fight could possibly be a draw, but if I wouldn't be shocked if Galichan gets it. And if Galichan does get it, I mean, Mastrapa is only himself to blame.
But again, I think, Jimmy, you made a great point earlier that I think both of these guys, regardless win, lose, or draw, are going to go look at this fight and be like, man, I should have done that there. I could have done this. Here's an opportunity that I could have stepped in.
Yep.
Can't take your punches home with you.
That's a good one.
We now have the judges' scorecards. Jim Sorensen, make it official.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. And ladies and gentlemen, Judge Max Parker Jr. scores this bout 58-56 in favor of Rennie Mastrapa. Judge Joanne Richards scores this bout 58-56 in favor of your boy Tristan Galichan. And Judge Rodolfo Aguilar scores this bout 57-57 for a split draw decision, ladies and gentlemen.
Stay tuned for Wednesday night fights starting in 2 minutes. Welcome into Wednesday night fights on ProBox TV as an Olympic summer draws to a close. Ask any of the great Olympians, Simone Biles, Alexander Karelin. It's not about winning the gold medal. It's about getting another opportunity to do it. That is the great honor that they're looking for in our main event at 160 pounds tonight. When we start out in the heavyweight division, Ivan Dychko, two-time Olympian, 13-0, 12 knockouts, taking on Craig Lewis, who says it's all about my chin and my awkwardness. That's what's going to get me through tonight. There's 8 rounds in the super featherweight division. Dominic Valle undefeated, 9-0, 7 knockouts. But his opponent, Kevin Piedrahita, 9-2, 8 of those wins by knockout. This one probably not going the distance. And in our co-main event of the evening, it's Michael Angeletti versus Geraldo Valdez, 11-0 versus 16-1. Angeletti talks about, I'm not a prospect, I'm ready for that big fight, but he cannot stumble tonight against a very dangerous opponent. And in our main event of the evening, 2 former world champions, Jarrett Hurd taking on Jeison Rosario. Both these guys have talked about the hunger to get back to championship status. This time, they can make noise in the middleweight division. Welcome inside ProBox event setter Jimmy Smith alongside Chris Algieri, Paulie Malignaggi. Before we get started, Angelo Leo, part of the ProBox TV family, becoming champion again, gentlemen. Big shout out to you, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, incredible performance. He had 3 of his fights on our air. Listen, going into that fight, I was not surprised that he pulled it out. But, I mean, we're very proud of him. It's great that you got that win, champ.
Got to pop that collar up, bro. Knockout of the year contender right there. You don't just win the title, win it with a knockout of the year. That's something else, man. Big performance.
Yeah, to win it in dominating fashion. But speaking of redemption, getting back to the top, in our main event, Jarrett Hurd, Jeison Rosario, the harder thing to win, is it a world title or is it a second chance at a world title? What do you think, champ?
Yeah, I think it's actually harder to do it again. I mean, to return, listen, when you have, this sport's a lot about momentum. And those guys had a lot of momentum going on, but now they've taken a step back. They've been out of the ring for a bit. Now they're back to getting their second chance at becoming world champion again, and they need to get a win here, but they understand what the platform of ProBox TV is for that opportunity once again.
Yeah, both guys offensive wizards. They hit very, very hard, good combinations, but they're also very, very hittable. That leads to an exciting fight.
Yeah. We know when they're on, they're still very hittable. It's not like, oh, they get sharp. They still get very, very hittable, but their offense it goes into overdrive. These are guys that sort of like to both beat you into submission when they're at their best. So if they have that same hunger that they had in their younger years when they were championship-level fighters, I mean, that's one of the advantages you have when you're chasing the second title is you know the road already. You've been there. You've walked these paths already. So you kind of understand how to approach it mentally and physically. Now, whether you can or not is we will see tonight. But with Rosario and Hurd, listen, when these guys want it, they are offensively hittable and they are offensively creative. You're going to have some dynamite time if both of these guys are anywhere near where we saw them at championship level a few years ago.
Well, let's talk about aggression. Let's talk about our co-main event, Angeletti versus Valdez. I'm not going to explain to the kids what a phone booth is, but this might be a phone booth fight. Both these guys really like to walk forward, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, Angeletti, you said it in the open. This guy thinks that he is now at contender status, but he's got a tough guy in front of him. I watched him tape. He's very, very scrappy. This is a banana peel situation for Angeletti.
Yeah. We talk about banana peels. We talk about ProBox, where 10-0, 9-0. You always criticize boxing, Paul. Like, yeah, they're giving you scrubs. That guy's 11-0, 12-0. Not here at ProBox. Got to stay mentally sharp. What are your thoughts?
Got to stay mentally sharp, physically ready, in the gym all the time. You get called for a ProBox fight, you're not going to get a cakewalk. It's going to be a step up and a step up and a step up. And the guys that have been there before already know that, But the guys that haven't been there, you show up on ProBox TV, you're in for a big test and a big step up. These guys tonight have a chance to show what they got in the ring.
Yeah, that's the thing about Angeletti. Says he's ready. He'll have a chance, of course, to prove it tonight. But a lot of people have said that have stumbled. Now, we start out in the heavyweight division. Of course, the two-time Olympian Ivan Dychko. You're not misreading that. He is 6 feet 7.5 inches tall. His opponent, almost 6'5" and much heavier, Craig Lewis. Look at the amazing reach on both of these fighters. Both of them have faith in their knockout power. That's what they talked about, is power and chin. Whose holds up tonight? That is the question. Jim Sorensen, get us going.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are starting our live broadcast on ProBox TV, your boxing channel. Watch on YouTube, ProBoxTV.com, or download the ProBox TV app. We are getting started here with this next fight, which is scheduled for 8 rounds in the heavyweight division. Your judges for this fight are Michael Ross, Jed O'Connor, and Max Parker Jr. And your referee, the third man in the ring, Gene Del Bianco. Introducing to you first, he fights out of the blue corner. He is wearing the red and blue trunks. He weighed in at 263.8 pounds. His record, 15 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw, with 8 wins by knockout. From Detroit, Michigan, please welcome Crazy Craig Lewis. And his opponent, he fights out of the red corner, wearing the black trunks, and he weighed in at 236 pounds even. He is undefeated. His record, 13 wins, with 12 of those wins coming by knockout. A former 2-time Olympian representing Kazakhstan, fighting out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Please welcome Ivan Dychko.
Blue, red. Gentlemen, we've got 8 rounds this evening. We discussed the rules in the dressing room. Your trunks are okay here, your trunks are okay here. Unless you've got any questions, let's touch the gloves, best of luck, let's get to work. Thank you.
It's not often that Craig Lewis at 6'5" is the shorter man, but Ivan Dychko, 2-time bronze medalist in the Olympic Games, is doing just that tonight. Almost 6'8", gentlemen.
Yeah. I took a picture with him earlier yesterday when walking around campus. He is a gigantic man.
You came up to about his nipples, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Not even that high.
Okay. As we start round number 1, Dychko in the black from Kazakhstan. Lewis in the red and blue out of Detroit, Michigan. Home of RoboCop. Always have to throw that in.
I actually called Craig Lewis's last fight against undefeated Jeremiah Milton in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I mean, he showed an incredible chin that night. Got hit with some big shots over and over again, but was scrappy, awkward, durable.
That's what we talked about when we interviewed him, was his awkwardness. I'm awkward, hard to time, I'm hard to figure out. People make mistakes when they come after me, and I'm moving strangely, but Dychko, to that amateur pedigree, he's not going to make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you get a guy who's trying to move in an awkward fashion, the way he is doing right now, you know, you're trying to get the overcommitment from the favorite. You're trying to get the overcommitment from Dychko. Lewis is trying to, you know, give these different looks, maybe over-moving, I'd say, giving these little feints and stutter steps. Maybe you get an overcommitment from Dychko and you try to make him pay. I think that's what he's really looking for. He's not, because Lewis doing all that, but he's not committing a lot.
You know, Chad, like someone like Dychko has such a big, deep amateur background. We talk about this. When you're a high-level amateur, you fight world-class guys as an amateur. You come to the pros, he hasn't fought guys like this. This kind of style can actually trick up someone with high-level amateur pedigree.
Yeah, it take you a second to figure it out. I don't know if it's a risk of beating you, but it's a second to sort of figure it out, and I think Dychko's starting to get a little closer to Lewis.
He fought Hurd, Zhang. He also fought Anthony Joshua in the amateurs. That one was at the Olympics.
And they actually have a common opponent there. Zhang also fought and KO'd Lewis. The only person to ever stop Lewis was Zhang.
Well, it's got to be somebody. One of the best heavyweights in the world right now.
Yeah.
No shame in that loss.
One of the biggest punchers in the game.
Lewis starting to slow down here.
Look at the patience of Dychko. No wasted movement from this guy.
Very methodical, setting the table, so to speak, from the inside, controlling the center of the ring. No wasted, everything very efficient. Nice stab jab down low. You can hear that ringside thudding shot.
That right hand as well. Again, getting a little closer. That's what I'm saying. When we were saying before, guys, you guys were saying about the awkwardness. You got to sort of figure it out because you don't really see it when you're fighting at such a high level all the time in the amateurs. Now Dychko's starting to slowly close in on Lewis.
Learn to fight those wild professionals. 20 seconds left in round number 1. Nice right hand. Two-time Olympic bronze medalist. Undefeated, 13-0, 12 knockouts. Stuff's going to happen with the height disparity here between these two fighters.
Yeah, and also when Lewis runs out of room, he sort of charges in with his head, trying to smother.
That's the end of round number 1. And also, Paul, you say it all the time, you know, those Eastern European fighters, they're just a little different, right? Not just in how they train and how prepared they are, but the way they mentally approach a fight. You're never going to get them out of sorts mentally.
Very stoic. You know, it's a culture thing over there, and it translates into their boxing, into their fighting in general.
Listen, all you got to do is what we were doing in the back room. Look, jab to the body, raise it up, push hook right hand. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? It'll work. Hey, stay up.
I want you to go to him. Put some pressure on him. I ain't seen him go a punch bagging up yet. Go forward. Put some pressure on him. Right? You get uncomfortable, tie him up. Make him uncomfortable. Don't let him do what he want to do. Make it an uncomfortable fight.
Box. Start off round number 2. Two gigantic heavyweights. Ivan Dychko from Kazakhstan, fighting out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Taking on crazy Craig Lewis, almost 6'5", fighting out of Detroit, Michigan.
Lewis's corner wants him to step forward and throw punches this round. Said he didn't do that in the first round. You see Lewis holding his ground a little more here.
And you did mention that stab jab in the first round by Dychko, champion. He's more frequent with it to start this round.
Also, Lewis talked about in his interview, works a couple jobs doing security. That can affect training. Dychko, this is all he does.
Mouthpiece
Crisp
out.
right hand, mouthpiece out. We were warned that might happen.
I wish the ref would have let him go a little bit more there.
Put it back in, wash it and put it
Better
back
for
in.
Lewis's teeth that he didn't.
Well, we were warned that he doesn't really have any front teeth.
Apparently
We
he
were
doesn't
told
have
that by the commission, that his mouthpiece might come out quite a bit. Now, why does he have one? I don't know, but
you missed that news flash.
the fight continues.
All right, let no punches spread.
They came and told Chris and I, yeah, the mouthpiece might come out. He doesn't really have any front teeth. Not the first time we've seen that. Oh, beautiful right hand.
Yeah.
Dychko with the knockdown.
talked about finding the range, Paul. He looks like he's found it.
And that stab jab set that up. He used it again here with the jab to the chest to sort of lower the guard of Lewis, maybe even bring his level a little lower so he can bring him right into the right hand, and you'll probably get a good look at it on the replay.
That's another thing about these Eastern European bombers. They're great finishers, gentlemen.
Yeah, and Dychko did a really nice job of punching through the target with that shot. Like you said, champ, he set it up, closed the range with that stab jab, but now he's got his range.
There's a mouthpiece again.
Referee didn't notice this time. Oh, yes, he did. Thought it got away from him.
Once more he loses it, fight's over, okay? Go ahead, you lose it again, fight's over.
Right now, Lewis at the mercy of the straight right hands of Dychko. Oh, another beautiful one. They're waving this one off with Lewis still on his feet. Chris, you talked about his durability. He ate that right hand pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't go down on that shot. I'm surprised the ref stepped in.
He didn't take him any shots either in the fight. The fight was just getting started.
Looked a little bit early to us, but technically, I think the ref could see where this one was going. I think that's the reason for the stop.
I mean, you could see where it was going before the bell even rang in the first round, but then we still got to fight, guys.
Still let him fight, right?
It wasn't a typical ProBox TV fight. Right. We knew that already going in, you know?
Not going to take another punch.
Disappointed Lewis. But here's a replay.
Bangs. That's that stab jab down low, right hand over the top. Boom. There's a little jab on the chin as well.
There it is right there.
Yeah, changing levels over the top. That was more of an overhand looping shot. Dychko was throwing a lot of straight right hands earlier.
That was a good little short right hand there, right over the top. That was...
Nice shot, but we've seen much harder punches. That stiffened him a bit, but Chris, hey, you said it. Lewis has a chin, man.
Yeah, he's not. Listen,
that shot well.
That Jeremiah Milton fight, man, I saw him get bludgeoned around the ring, get hit with huge shots all night long and stayed up.
This referee for that fight.
Yeah, we just switched referees, probably.
It was not on the stoppage shot though. I want to bring out the form of Dychko too, holding his ground, catching Lewis coming and using that sweeping left hook to kind of push him into the right hand, so that he was able to land a solid right hand. And that all starts with you holding your ground. Something we were talking about last fight, Galashan. Every time the attack was coming, you kept stepping back constantly. See what happens when you hold your ground, you're able to use that timing shot to catch a guy coming, and that's what Dychko did. The referee was telling us there was no teeth. We had
any teeth walking in.
Indeed.
We are aware.
It was quick, but Jim Sorensen will make it official.
And ladies and gentlemen, making it official at 2 minutes 5 seconds in the second round, referee Gene Del Bianco calls this fight to a stop for your winner by technical knockout and still undefeated, Ivan Dychko!
Ivan Dychko, undefeated heavyweight. Let's make it 13 out of 14. I would remember this name, ProBox TV fans. Heavyweights that can hit hard at a premium, but technical guys. His height and his technique, that is an incredible combination. This guy has a long way to go, but man, didn't even break a sweat tonight. So, backstage, of course, we have a main eventer looking to get back in that rarefied air of championship fights. Jeison Rosario, right now, talking to Beatriz Callis.
Jeison Banana Rosario, uno de los peleadores del evento estelar de esta noche, representando a República Dominicana, representing Dominican Republic. Jeison, esta es tu primera pelea del 2024, tienes un nuevo coach. ¿Cómo se siente estar en el evento estelar de la noche y cómo te has preparado para este duelo? It's your first fight of 2024. How do you feel in being part of the main event of the evening? And how's your new coach, the preparation for this fight? Cuéntanos un poco.
Bueno, primeramente, gracias a Dios. Segundo, me siento súper agradecido con la oportunidad de estar peleando en ProBox. Me siento súper emocionado estar en el show estelar. Y en cuanto a mi coach, creo que fue un ángel que me mandó Dios. Y el hombre fortaleció mi mente y fortaleció mi cuerpo. estamos ready para todo lo que venga el día de hoy.
I feel very blessed. I'm very thankful for my coach, and we're ready for everything that comes along in my professional career, and very thankful to be part of the main event in ProBox TV. Jeison, tú también fuiste campeón en la división de peso welter. You were also a welterweight division world champion. Are you planning to stay in the same division? Do you feel comfortable in 160 pounds? ¿Te sientes cómodo en las 160 libras o planeas cambiar de división?
No, realmente nos vamos a radicar ahora las 160. Nos sentimos cómodos, súper confortables, súper fuertes, y aquí vamos a hacer campaña en las 160.
We're planning to stay in 160 pounds in the middleweight division. We feel very comfortable, and we're ready to give you a night full of action. Jeison, thank you so much. Muchísimas gracias. Back to you.
Something you hear from both fighters, right, is that idea that they are grateful for this opportunity to come back. They are not yesterday's news. They are former champions getting to fight in a main event here at ProBox TV. That is our main event tonight, but more action coming. Dominic Valle, Kevin Piedrahita coming up next. Welcome back inside the ProBox TV ring. Getting ready with an undefeated fighter trying to take his record to the next level, 10-0. That's a very tough test in front of him. Dominic Valle, 9-0, 7 knockouts, but he's facing perhaps the biggest puncher of his career. You see him right there, Kevin Piedrahita. So you want to fight on ProBox TV, huh? That means you get challenges. See, Dominic Valle on the left has a sizable reach advantage over his opponent. That translates to a height advantage as well. But right there, 23 and 24, young, hungry, in their primes, ready to improve, but only one can win tonight. Jim Sorensen, get us started.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for an 8-rounder in the super featherweight division. Your judges for this fight, Rodolfo Aguilar, Joanne Richard, and Michael Ross. And your referee for this fight is Christopher Young. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks. He weighed in at 131 pounds even. His record, 9 wins, 2 losses, with 8 of those wins coming by knockouts. De Pereira, Colombia, bienvenidos, Kevin Dinamita Piedrahita. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black and orange trunks. He weighed in at 130.6 pounds. He is undefeated. His record, 9 wins with 7 wins coming by way of knockout from Tampa, Florida. Give a hometown welcome to Dominic Valle.
Red corner, blue corner. Okay, gentlemen, listen, red trump's high, so everything up here, I'm considered legal, okay? You see instructions dressing room. That tough, clean fight, they make commands of all the time, protect yourself all the time, touch them up.
Well, that height difference evident in the stare down. Can he turn it into his advantage? Dominic Valle, taller, reach advantage, will he use it? Against Kevin Piedrahita, 8 out of 9 wins by knockout. Definitely a power puncher. Can he keep him at bay? Right across the ring, gentlemen.
Yeah, he closed distance really quickly, right immediately. Basically met Valle in his corner. I mean, this weight class, Valle is going to be taller and longer than everybody he fights, and we've seen that numerous times in the past.
Yeah, so Piedrahita wants to get in his face right away, and that's exactly what he's trying to do here. He's not cutting off the ring, though, so Valle is able to circle to the left, trying to establish that jab. Let's see here.
Valle in the orange. Piedrahita, black shorts, black shoes.
Piedrahita is doing exactly what he should be doing. Closing that distance, taking that stab jab to the chest, getting his head in there.
I don't know what's sharper right now, with Valle's jab or his outfit.
It certainly catches the eye, does it not?
Look good, feel good, fight good.
Yeah.
Chris, you were often the taller guy. Is it mentally, physically exhausting? Have kind of that, the jumping being in front of you that won't give you space to work.
Yeah, but I always took it as it's even more tiring to try and close that distance. You have to start at a distance from me. Each round starts, in opposite corners, so you got to get to me first.
When you talk about look good, feel good, champ, I can remember my first national amateur tournament, and my teammates were more experienced. It was Valle setting up some shots here. And one of my teammates goes, bro, because you're fighting a bunch of guys you don't know. You're just drawing each other. And he goes, good shots there from Valle as well. And he goes, just judge by how they look like. If a guy's dressed, you can tell if somebody can fight based on how they dress. and he points to some guy who had some Daisy Duke type shorts on. He goes, see, like that guy can't fight. so, it can throw you off if you go back far enough. Because Hagel was pretty plain, and he would murder you.
If that were true, we could just raise Valle's hand right now. He's winning the fashion contest, no doubt about it.
Flashy clothes from Valle, but doing a good job with his jab, keeping that stick in the face of Piedrahita.
Well, you can see Piedrahita, his face is all red. Forehead, nose, everything. He's running into those jabs. Valle doing exactly what he should do as the taller man, making him pay for closing that distance.
And that's the thing, he's also front foot heavy. He's on that front foot. And a lot of times when you're front foot heavy, you take a lot of jabs. You could be hit with those straight shots right up the middle because you kind of put your head out there for them. You can also be hit with uppercuts, which is a punch we've seen Valle use in the past as well. So there it is right there.
That's double uppercut, right hand and left hook.
Piedrahita, 49 rounds as a pro, does have a lot of experience.
A lot of KOs too. 8 KOs and 9 wins.
Got power.
You know what normally comes with power? Confidence. You can see that in even his style. Coming out right away, trying to meet Valle in his own corner. Nice uppercut on the inside.
Valle's starting to see those uppercuts. He's also touched the body here and there as well. And that's one way to take away the confidence of a fighter or the determination of a fighter is keep going to the body and breaking them down. Takes away the will to fight as they fatigue with the body shots. See if Valle can continue to do that.
Piedrahita is working so much harder than Valle is. Varelle's sitting in that perch position on the outside, landing shots.
You want to press, you better have the gas tank to go with it.
Mira, hay que meterle presión. Por favor, mueve la cabeza ya, muévelo. Sigue entrando dentro, que es lo que trabaja dentro. No trabaja afuera porque él es largo. Trabaja adentro para que no pueda sacar las manos. Eso es, va calentando, ahí va calentando, que es lo que le sigue metiendo las manos.
Sit and go right back. You got me? All right? Use your jab. Be effective with your legs, with your stance. Be in an athletic position to go again, all right? You're throwing all arm shots. Let me get some good shots going, all right? Use them legs, okay, kid? That jab works, the uppercut, the uppercut goes boom, boom, all right?
Heard the advice in the corner. That's something you always had, Chris, to make this analogy to the taller fighter. You always had good legs. You're always moving as you were throwing the jab. Advice from the corner, don't forget your legs.
I think that was great advice, and Valle did that well in the first round. He's holding his position, but also using that lateral movement to readjust, reposition himself. Good stuff in the first round from Valle against a very, very aggressive Piedrahita.
He's aggressive, but he's coming at the same speed all the time. Yeah. He's bringing the pressure at the same speed all the time, so it's easy to start to get a timing for Valle.
I think in the first round we saw what both men need to do in order to be successful here. You've got Valle obviously on the outside, making Piedrahita pay for coming in. But Piedrahita closing that distance, banging the body, hitting that long torso. That's what he needs to do to be successful.
Paulie, a lot of times you were the shorter man having to get inside. What is Piedrahita not doing to make it easier?
Well, first of all, you got to switch the rhythm up a little bit. Like I said before, he's sort of on one gear, just coming straight forward at the same speed, same look, everything else. You want to switch that up a little bit because not only are you more predictable, but you're going to get there at the same speed. Valle's going to know what punches to throw. He's going to already be deciding how he's going to meet you every time you get there because he already realizes even off a break, you're coming right back in at that same speed and that same look. And he's still front foot heavy. So
nice overhand right.
I think he got Valle's attention with that shot too, guys.
Absolutely. Leg went stiff.
This was considered a big test for Valle. His brother, Marcus Valle, lost his last time out against Sosa in a big test. You know, Valle has respect for what happens here at ProBox TV. Tough fights.
Power can change momentum there. That shot did get Valle's attention. You see Valle not as excited about working in there. Now he's getting back to working.
Popping uppercuts.
And that would be the smart thing to do for Valle. Continue to go to the body, take away the energy and the punching power.
And Valle has a great left hook to the body, which you just saw there. Piedrahita just landed a good left hook upstairs. This is the range where Piedrahita wants to be. He's landed some big shots and has had an effect on Valle here in round 2.
Piedrahita, to his credit, keeps coming.
At this range, he can also be at the mercy of the Valle hook to the body if Valle keeps using it.
Jimmy, you mentioned the legs at the beginning of this round. I think you jinxed Valle because that's exactly what he's not doing here. He did forget about the legs, just like his corner said not to.
Don't forget your legs, keep moving.
And Champion, you were talking about Piedrahita coming at the same speed. I always try to liken things to like war. If you're fighting uphill, you have to be deceptive. You can't just go in the front door when you got a guy who's got the height and reach advantage.
And you know what he's trying to do? He's trying to just break the will of the undefeated prospect by continuing to press.
Being a battering ram.
And make him think, oh, I can't get this guy off me. Sometimes that works, but you know, Valle we've seen has the pedigree that it probably takes a little bit more than that to take away the confidence that he has. You see Valle now starting to establish a little bit of distance with that jab.
There you go. There's that little deceptive head movement in and out.
10 seconds.
Haven't seen any feints from Piedrahita. They talk about deception. Haven't seen a whole lot of it as we end round number 2.
Nunca lo han hecho pelear, ¿ok? A él nunca lo han hecho pelear. Eso es seguir empujándolo. Mete la mano aquí, solo vas a con el uppercut, con la voladita por encima. Hazle el fake para el gancho. ¿Cómo te sientes? Espectacular. Hay que meterle presión. Acuérdate que él no ha peleado aquí, pero no.
And we are back in the corner of Kevin Dinamita Piedrahita. Knockout puncher, but a tough second round for him.
There's that big overhand shot that got the attention of Valle there. About middle of that round 2. Boom. Exchanging shots on the inside with the shorter man. Got caught with the overhand right.
That does some mustard on it, that right hand.
Yeah. No, you can see Dinamita does have power. I mean, 8 KOs in 9 fights, in 9 wins rather, and nickname is Dinamita. So
you don't get that nickname if you're not knocking guys out or hurting them in the gym. Round number 3, it's an 8-rounder. Undefeated Dominic Valle here in Tampa, Florida. He's always going to get that hometown pop.
There's that. I was going to say, I would like to see some more body work from Valle. He's an excellent left hook to the body. Often breaks down his opponents. He's been having trouble landing that on Piedrahita as he's closing that distance really well.
You know, Paulie, is it one of those things where until you get that big fight experience, you've been long rounds, you kind of forget one half of your game. He's either moving or punching, Paulie. And his corner said move and punch at the same time. Not exactly doing that yet.
Yeah, and that's what eventually you're going to have to learn to chew gum and walk at the same time, right? And chew gum and talk at the same time when you get to a higher level. There's fighters that do some things well. When you can put the combination of things that you do well at the same time and flow it like water, like Bruce Lee used to say, you know, flow from one thing to the next very smoothly, then you're starting to really get your levels up to where they need to be.
Before the gas of Valle looking good. Piedrahita putting pressure on him, but hasn't been able to really get Valle fatigued, if that's been his strategy.
And one thing about Valle, we see that he usually is a guy who puts together numbers going forward, right? He just breaks you down. You know, he's showing a good ability to box on the back foot here. He's going backwards, meeting Piedrahita with shots. Obviously, Piedrahita's giving a good effort, and I felt like he got Valle's attention with that overhand right last round, so he's certainly a live guy. But Valle's being forced to work on that back foot, and he's not doing a bad job here in this fight, fighting off that back foot.
But champ, you know what I noticed? I noticed the same thing, fighting off the back foot, doing it quite well, but the power is very different.
Yeah.
Going forward, Valle is a two-fisted destroyer. Going backwards, not quite the same power.
Yeah, and that's why I think it becomes important for him not to neglect the body. Piedrahita is confident in coming forward. Especially, again, I think that right hand that he landed last round, that's all he needed to say, okay, if I can lay on this guy, I can get his attention, I can hurt him. So now he's even more confident, even if it's not going to go his way, to keep going forward, because he may have more success if he lands another big shot. So you've got to get to the body of Piedrahita, I think, to slow down that confident
shot from Piedrahita, just as you said it. Answered back by Valle. Both Valle brothers, and they have a a weakness, it's their strength. They don't mind standing there and trading punches, even when they shouldn't.
Well, they trust their size, their conditioning, and their power, so they're willing to stay in the pocket, which is what makes them such exciting fighters.
I think Dominic knows how to fight on the back foot a little bit better than his brother. His brother is very good on the front foot, and so is Dominic. And that back foot here, Dominic is still, figuring out ways to put some shots together. He's still creative. He's still thinking.
Well, you're seeing him cut angles now, using that lateral movement, firing off that movement as well. Beautiful work here for Dominic Valle, creating space for that offense.
That salvo right there for 20 seconds with the punching, the sidestepping, the pivoting,
that's beautiful
setting
stuff.
up new punches. That's exactly what I'm talking about with Valle.
Excellent stuff from Dominic Valle. As you said, champ, boxing off the back foot, using the lead hand very, very well. Well, Lester Martinez, he looked outstanding at our fight in D.C. Undefeated, 10 rounds in the super middleweight division. Take on Jojo James. That is our main event, September 11th here, ProBox TV. That's going to be an outstanding fight, gentlemen.
Yeah, that's a good fight. I mean, we had Jojo James on our air before. He was impressive that night. But speaking of impressive, was the work that Dominic Valle was able to do in there in round 3, changing angles, fighting off that back foot, made a nice adjustment after taking a big right hand in round 2 to really be able to befuddle and land some big shots, cutting angles, creating openings there for Dominic Valle.
We got the mouthpiece.
Good work so far from Dominic Valle. Can Kevin Piedrahita flip the script here in round number 4?
A lot of rounds to go. Not even halfway there yet.
Piedrahita is committed to that bull forward mentality. Valle recently became a father. I know you two guys don't know this. He's doing this on no sleep. If that isn't impressive.
I hope that's not the case.
Trust me, it is the case. Trust me.
That's why fighters go to training camp, ladies and gentlemen.
To get away from all their responsibilities.
Gotta be able to sleep in camp.
Yep. Here right now, as you said, holding his ground a bit. His corner has said, use your feet, angle a bit more. But at heart, this guy's a fighter. And when pushed, he's going to fight.
Yeah, well, Piedrahita is really putting on a lot of pressure here. He made an adjustment here in this round himself. Last round, he got out of box. This round, he's putting out that intense pressure that we saw in round 2, which is able to create some openings for his power. His very respectable power.
Good combination here by Valle. And that's exactly one example of why he's holding his ground here and there, because even when you're a boxer against a pressure guy like this, there's moments you got to pick where you hold your ground, and then there's moments where you go back to boxing. If you don't pick those moments here and there to hold your ground and get that respect, these guys are going to continue to walk you down. Now Valle with the bloody nose, and it's almost like they woke him up, and he's putting together a lot more numbers.
Yeah, I like the way he's throwing his shots now, too. He's throwing one punch for the next punch. And he's such a good combination puncher, and he builds off momentum. Here's that momentum building here.
Piedrahita backing up, stunned for the first time in this fight.
Very physical fight between these two guys. Different styles, but we understand what each needs to do to be successful. They've shown how they can win this fight. Let's see who's going to take control and separate themselves here.
First time that Valle's fought a Colombian. You see what they bring, which is some physical intensity here.
Dude, what's with Colombians? They can all punch. Right? Every Colombian can
all
punch.
of them.
Yeah, Venezuelans, Colombians.
Yep.
A lot of the Russians, too.
Yeah,
And out come the smocks, ladies and gentlemen.
Smock-worthy fight.
Smock-worthy fight. Blood coming out of the nose of Valle. Piedrahita beat red.
And that's the thing, man. When you're fighting in that phone booth, Chris Young with a good chin, too, right there. He rolled with it.
He did. The referee took that shot.
He pointed at Piedrahita and be like, bro, you do that again, we're going to have a problem. He rolled with it, though.
That's a tough rep, ladies and gentlemen. Combinations continue from Dominic Valle. We're halfway through this war of a fight.
I think Chris Young wanted to snuff him. He got mad at him.
I like the attitude of Piedrahita. He's here to win this fight. We don't have B-sides here. We don't have opponents. Piedrahita is here to win this fight.
El tipo está cansado, no puede contigo.
Ya, no va a ganar.
Ya, oye. Vamos.
Yeah, Piedrahita didn't show up just to
Está
show up.
perdiendo.
No, not at all. No.
Vamos.
He didn't show up for a check. He showed up to win. Here we're going to see Dominic Valle really setting up some numbers here. Beautiful building off of that momentum that he created. Blood from the nose, but it's not slowing him down one bit.
A lot of that is not getting through, and maybe that's also why Piedrahita, and there's a shot on Chris Young.
Referee's got a chin.
he looked at him like
really, bro?
Chris Young thought about hitting him. He was like, if we weren't in this ring right now.
Don't want to get involved in the fight. Referee is a consummate professional.
Yep. He just gave us a shrug from ringside.
It happens.
All in a day's work. One of the best referees down here in the South Florida area. See him getting a lot of work.
Halfway through this 8-round fight, and gentlemen, you hear it all the time in combat sports. Never set a pace you can't keep. Piedrahita has been in the chest of Valle. Hasn't always been successful, but he hasn't set a pace that he hasn't been able to keep in the last couple rounds.
Yeah, he's kept the pace, but he hasn't been effective in my eyes. I think that Dominic Valle is showing some really, really nice boxing skills, fighting off that back foot, gripping combinations, cutting angles, creating openings. You name it, Dominic Valle has been doing it.
It's one of those things, too, though, even if it's not effective enough to maybe be winning the fight, it's effective enough to make Valle uncomfortable. Keep Valle thinking, keep Valle moving, and keep Valle figuring out ways that he's going to, stay ahead in this fight. Ooh, a nice timing uppercut. That was a beautiful shot.
Paulie, that's something you always harp on is mental fatigue, right? Just having someone in your chest mentally fatigued. Valle's so far warning pretty well. We haven't seen that mental fatigue.
There's fights you can win 10-0 and the guy will keep you working constantly. And Piedrahita, not to say Piedrahita hasn't won some moments in this fight, because he has. We saw Valle even bleeding last round, but this is a fight that seems like Valle has the advantage here. He's landing the better shots. But Piedrahita's continuously coming forward, continuously making it work, and has drawn blood, and we thought he even buckled the legs of Valle in round 2, continuously making him work.
That's a great point, champ. I fought a really tough guy back on ESPN days, Manuel Taylor, and I won the fight. I mean, 9-1. It was, it wasn't a close fight, but I mean, I was so mentally exhausted because of how dangerous he was, and I knew I had to be on my P's and Q's from round 1 till round 10.
Yeah, and those are the fights that they mature you mentally as well as physically. And this is the kind of fight here with Valle. Okay, the scorecards may end up saying he won by a good margin, but they won't tell the story of the fight.
It won't feel like that tonight.
And the story of the fight is that Valle is getting a good experience here against Piedrahita. And honestly, the fight's not over yet. I mean, Piedrahita could still work his way back into this.
We also saw that overhand early in the fight.
Good cut-off shot there. Piedrahita just landed a nice overhand right, cut off the movement of Valle.
One thing that you could criticize about Piedrahita would prevent Valle from going out to the left constantly. Would Valle get more uncomfortable?
Cutting body shot with the left hand from Valle.
Yeah, but Champ, I think he's getting tamed. He's round over round getting tamed by Valle's excellence, his punch selection, looping, clubbing shots like that, the body work.
The shot selection, great point, Champ.
Oh, beautiful uppercut.
Into some sharp uppercuts.
The adjustment I really appreciate from Valle is his ability to create a little bit of room. Just create a little bit of room, and he's ripping shots like that. That uppercut was landing too close in round 1 and 2. Now he's creating a little bit of space. See that little push off with that lead hand, and then he fires that right.
All the difference.
Creating that little bit of space.
Makes all the difference. And also the more Piedrahita slows down, the easier it is to give yourself just enough space.
Very educated lead hand from Valle here.
Quede por abajo. Mira. Mira por abajo. Tiene que cerrarle el camino. Tiene que meterte adentro porque te está ganando de afuera. Y está esperando.
And it is a beautiful round number 6 about to begin. Thank you to our ring card girls here at ProBox TV. It's been an exciting fight so far, but Dominic Valle technically in control throughout. Excellent footwork, excellent movement. His Colombian opponent, Kevin Piedrahita, has made it a brawl, made it a fight. But the tactics have belonged to that man in the orange, Dominic Valle. He's boxed as sharp as he's looked, Paulie.
Yeah.
Sharp as his trunks.
And he's had to keep working the entire time, too.
Living up to the wardrobe.
Continuously, even at this bell here, we're in round 6. Piedrahita went right across the ring at the bell and got right on Valle, like white on rice.
And you mentioned, Champ, you know, the uncomfortability of having a guy like Piedrahita who's constantly coming at you like this. If you look at the facial expressions of Valle, he doesn't seem perturbed. Comes out of the round, like, all right, he meets me in my corner, cool. I'm gonna hit him with a 5-piece, I'm gonna step off. I'm gonna keep going, I'm gonna do it again.
And that's the approach you gotta have. If the guy goes, he's gonna go. But you're there to work, and you're there to work for as long as you need to work. Obviously, with punchers, maybe they get spoiled. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't understand that part. But you know, maybe they get spoiled. They're not used to working hard. But honestly, this is very impressive from Valle as well, because he gets a lot of knockouts, and yet he's, as you said, not even perturbed. You know, it's cool as a cucumber underneath the stress and the pressure. He showed up to work regardless of how long this fight's gonna go. And he's here to work all night.
The only place you get that is the gym. That's hard sparring, that's round after round, putting in the work, understanding you got the gas tank, understanding you've been in uncomfortable positions in the ring. Valle is putting that work on display here tonight.
The switch of directions there, left and right there, but then that's that he does one-dimensional footwork. He's going straight in. And you see Valle is watch, he's going to go here and then he's going to the left. Which now sets even.
Nice right hand from Dominic Valle right in front of us. Piedrahita. Stay chest to chest.
Nice step around there from Valle. Put Piedrahita in the corner for a moment. Back to the center of the ring.
Also, since Valle started bleeding from the nose, which actually they could control very well in the corner, you got to give his cut man some credit there as well. Since that shot, it's almost like he got angry. He's throwing more punches. He's put together more shots.
But the shot selection, Chris, if you can speak to this, he hasn't put anything behind any one shot necessarily. He's been throwing them out there just like that. Good sharp combinations, not, you know, spending too much energy on it.
Yeah, I mean, he gets a lot of knockouts, but I don't think he's a puncher per se. He's a combination guy, breaks you down, beats you up, and just really beats the drum and gets you out of there on attrition. And he's not a one-punch guy, although he is a very good body puncher. Nice combination. Both sides of the body, high and low.
Next level stuff from Dominic Valle. So many fighters here at ProBox TV get that 8-0, between 8 and 15 fights, let's say. And you get that big step up here. A lot of them aren't mentally ready. Valle looks mentally ready.
Yeah, staying very cool, very relaxed. And, you know, I always say the best confidence in the world is being in shape. You can tell Dominic Valle does his work in the gym. He's conditioned.
One of the issues Piedrahita has with his pressure is that he tries to get there first, then punch. And then Valle is able to meet him with punches before he starts punching sometimes.
When we were talking about the shorter man, something that shorter guys always forget to do is jab your way in. You can jab with the longer guy.
Good job, kid. That was a great round.
Hell yeah.
That was a great round.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Hear him, right? Don't fall asleep.
you gotta be super
All
alert.
he has. All right? That's all he has.
Welcome back to Wednesday Night Fights, ProBox TV. Dominic Valle
Super alert.
got told by his coach, great stuff, but don't relax yet. This is the great stuff, champ.
Even here we see Valle getting pinned in the corner there by Piedrahita. But Valle being very smart, using that little left arm to post out, create a little space, and then ties his man up. Right after that replay, you spun around, got back to the center of the ring, which is exactly what you do when you're a taller man and get caught along the ropes or in the corner. Here comes Piedrahita, immediately rushing forward and pins Valle along the ropes. This is what he needs to do. I'm sure he got a tongue lashing in the corner there, saying he needs to step it up.
Round number 7 of an 8-round fight. 2 left have been controlled by combinations just like that from Dominic Valle here in Tampa, Florida.
You see the red marks on the flanks of Valle there from those body shots. That good overhand right again from Piedrahita. It seems like for Dinamita, he just needs to throw caution to the wind and just fight, because when he's staying in that mid-range and he's allowing Valle to get off, he's getting tuned up. Ooh, good body shot there from Piedrahita, good around the elbow to the liver of Valle. Oh. These guys are cracking.
Yeah, and again, the numbers too, you know, the eye-catching. You know, Piedrahita wants to get there first and then punch, as I said last round. He's not using the style to punch his way in. You see, he doesn't really, he's not able to create spaces. Well, a lot of times he gets there and he smothers himself too because of that. When you punch your way in, you're able to create the proper distance to get leverage on your shots.
In the first round, Piedrahita came out with a stiff jab to the chest, which is a great great move against a taller guy. Back him up, push him off that front foot, get him off balance, but he's gone away from that.
Dominic Valle now, for the first time, kind of physically pressing himself.
Yeah, he's trying to push him.
Whoa! Oh, that's why that might be dangerous.
He throws that thing like a baseball.
Like an anvil.
Hammer of Thor coming over the top.
Like a fallen safe.
He's going to say that all the time. That's an old school one.
Looney Tunes? Anybody? Just us? Okay. Kids still watch it, right?
Nah, it's too violent now. I think that's
I love it. Good right hand from Valle. Popping him back with the jab.
I'm understanding the nickname now, Dinamita. He's a fire plug out there. When he gets going, lets those hands rip.
A lot of fighters would have taken a backward step at some point under this assault, but
no, he's not been broken. Absolutely not. No, he's still in this fight trying to win. He's getting outclassed at times, but certainly his will is there. Big left hook upstairs.
As you said, champ, it's the confidence of a knockout puncher. I can finish you with one shot.
Doesn't matter how far behind I am, it only takes one. Oh, nice looping shot on the forehead of Piedrahita. He's got a good chin too, does Piedrahita, because he got hit with the big shots tonight.
Oh, back to work a big shot from Piedrahita.
Valle got rocked.
First time an element of danger for Dominic Valle. Clip with a big one, just as we were discussing the power of Piedrahita.
When we talk about the pressure, all 3 minutes.
Oh, another good left hand. Going to war at the end of the round. Wow.
Being lazy, sitting there, not finishing. Use your jab, keep your hands up. Are you awake? Sit down.
We said something about power, gentlemen? Power, the ability to come back?
Yeah, it's a big overhand right there. Partially blocked, though. Landed on the chest a little bit there, but I believe it was a big left hook there on the temple that had Valle in trouble at the end of that 7th round.
Fight hard, fight clean, gentlemen.
Yep. That lead uppercut's a difficult shot to defend when you got a left hook come upstairs.
The difference in the corners was telling too. Montford trying to stay calm and remind Valle of the basics he needs to have in the last round. Well, Piedrahita, the corner was, I always get a kick out of that. Not only are they on fire, but they always point to the guy across the ring and say, look at him, he's done. And the cornerman was moving out of the way so that Piedrahita could get a good look at Valle.
His corner said, you got lazy. That's what they said. You got lazy. That's how that happened.
Well, you know what got lazy was his feet. He was standing in front too much. He stopped stepping around. And he's doing it again here. He's standing right in front.
What'd you say, Paulie? Taking a picture of your work?
Yeah, right? Sometimes it happens. You get tired and you start to forget a little bit of the fundamentals. And that's why I think Montford just wanted those fundamentals to come back. You know, balance, your hands up, things like that. As in the last round, those are good reminders.
And you get fatigued. What's the first thing to go? The legs. The legs. Don't forget about the legs. He was told that in round 1. Round 8 of a fight where these guys have been very busy, very active, especially Valle. Not using those legs the same way he was.
Still going forward.
Big shot.
He's trying to push back here. He's made it a war of attrition.
Yeah. Valle is picking a fight, it seems, in the center of the ring. When he seems to have this fight in the bag. What do you think of this strategy, gentlemen?
I would have suggested coming out and jabbing and moving and stay at a distance.
He could still do that. He could maybe feign like he's going to do a faint stutter step, and I bet you Piedrahita will fall right into an uppercut.
Yeah, but champ, you know how it is. Once you're in puncher mode, look at his feet, look at his stance. It's really hard to change up, and he gets hit with another
big overhand.
Oh! Valle landed a big right hook on the temple. Dinamita walks right through it. I think we've underestimated the body work from Dinamita tonight. He's landed some good shots on both sides of the flanks. You see the red marks on the side of Valle's body.
It could be the reason the legs are a little weak now. They put money in the bank early. Piedrahita, the Colombian fighter.
Not to mention the blood from the nose makes it difficult to breathe. That's been a number of rounds that Valle has been dealing with that while putting out a tremendous output.
50 seconds left to go in the final round Dominic Valle has been the matador to the bull this entire time, but eating some big shots.
You see Piedrahita clapping his gloves together, telling him, Valle, let's go, let's go. He's confident.
Oh! Aye. Good left hook upstairs from Valle. But again, Piedrahita showing a good chin, coming forward, believing in his power. Fire plug, man. He's a fire hydrant throwing big shots.
One of those guys, he may come up short if he doesn't get the finish in 20 seconds, but I want to see him again.
Yeah,
for sure. Bring this guy back.
ProBox TV matchmakers
10
doing a great
seconds
job
left.
once again.
I don't know who they're looking at or where they're going, but this Colombian fighter can bang.
Aye. Big shot.
Well, Dominic Valle, a fantastic performance.
Smock-worthy.
Yeah, smock-worthy for sure, ladies and gentlemen. Evan Piedrahita, welcome to ProBox.
That was a ton of fun. These guys are back and forth. Some big shots right there. This is that last round. Probably the most consistent round for Piedrahita all night, landing multiple overhand rights throughout. Good body work. Good close for that man right there.
It's one of those where, woo, look at one 12-rounder. A seven on. Piedrahita started picking it up. Started finding his range. Fighter from Colombia gave it everything he had. But man, those first rounds, I would say the first 7 or so rounds, Dominic Valle just controlling this with his boxing. He's going to learn a lot tonight.
Yeah, first round, Piedrahita put on a lot of pressure right away, came forward, but it was the combination punching and fighting off that back foot from Valle. It was very efficient work early on. There you see that body work coming upstairs as well. You know, he made a good adjustment in the middle rounds, did Valle, where he started actually creating angles, stepping around, making a little bit of distance, using some push-off tactics, using that post with the lead in, using his forearm, opening shots up for combinations just like this. And I mentioned how he is a momentum fighter. He likes to build off of his offense and create openings for combinations. But it was that big overhand shot and the power of Piedrahita that changed things around at times. But again, Valle, being the more dynamic fighter with more options, was able to control a lot of the time and a lot of the space in the ring in the middle rounds. Round 4 is more beautiful work here from Valle, letting those hands go, running those numbers. You saw the blood from the nose, but that almost spurred him on to put out even more output. And his timing seemed to be really good, finding the range, finding the distance, setting up those shots, even fighting up the ropes at times, and being very effective. But with a puncher like Piedrahita, you cannot get relaxed, you cannot get too calm.
It's almost like he kept waiting for that time when Piedrahita would stop moving forward, and it never happened.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, the corner said, don't get lazy. And then you saw the big overhand shot, which led to the big left hook at the end of round 7 that wobbled Valle a bit. I think we're gonna take a look at that shot right there. Little awkward step, and that led to a really big 8th round for Piedrahita. But was it enough? That is going to be the question that only the judges can answer for us.
Fighter from Colombia definitely finished strong in round number 8.
A war of attrition between these two. Back and forth action.
Great learning experience for a guy like Valle, young in his career. Exactly, Paul. ProBox TV.
School of hard knocks on this one.
Well, the scores are in. Did Valle do enough? Jim Sorensen, make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, tell these warriors what you thought of this fight! After 8 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Michael Ross sees this bout 78-74. Judge Rodolfo Aguilar and Joanne Richard both see this bout 79-73. in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, and still undefeated, Dominic Valle!
When he wins by decision, it tends to be a wipeout. That's what happened tonight.
Yeah, no, I mean, one judge had 2 rounds going to Piedrahita. The other 2 judges had just the 1 round. That was probably the last round. But for the most part, like we said, the combination punching, the adjustments made by Valle were a thing of beauty. You know, rounds 2 through until the end of round 7 was very, very efficient. But Piedrahita, here you see him walking around, picking his hands up like, what happened?
It started too late.
Started too late. Had a great 8th and final round, but just got hit with too many punches in those earlier rounds.
I could see rounds 7 and 8 going to Piedrahita. Only one judge saw it that way. Dominic Valle, another outstanding performance. He moves to 10-0, 7 knockouts in his young career. Well, if you love action, get ready for our main event with 2 former champions. One of them, Jarrett Hurd, backstage with our own Beatrice Callis.
I'm here with Jarrett Hurd, one of the fighters of the main event of the evening, uno de los peleadores del evento estelar de esta noche. Jarrett, this is your first fight of 2024, and the result of the fight could potentially take you to a world title fight. El resultado de esta pelea pudiera llevarte una pelea de título mundial. What do you think are the keys for the victory tonight? ¿Cuáles crees que sean las claves de la victoria para esta noche?
I just got to be myself. You know, I've been here before. I've been on this level. I just got to go out there, be myself, execute the game plan, and come out with a victory.
Solamente tengo que ser yo mismo, ejecutar el plan que tenemos y probar que puedo traer una victoria. Now, you fought Elisandi Lara in 2018, and your last fight of 2023, you won by way of knockout. Venciste en tu última pelea en el 2023. If you secure a victory tonight, who would you like to fight next? Si ganas este duelo, ¿con quién te gustaría enfrentarte?
Any of the champions. You know, this fight right here should take me to that level where I want to face any of the champions. I'm a big name in the sport. Me at 160, clashing with any of those guys, it'd be a mega fight.
Me encantaría enfrentarme con cualquier campeón que estaría disponible. Al final yo vengo aquí a ganar y a probar mis cualidades boxísticas. Jared, muchísimas gracias. Back to you.
Beatrice is not short. That is a big middleweight. Yeah. Jarrett Hurd, I know you guys don't know me. She is not short. And Jarrett Hurd, a gigantic middleweight. My God, the action, gentlemen. And we're just leading into the co-main event of the evening. Keeps on going with Michael Angeletti versus Geraldo Valdez.
Night fights.
Dynamite action on Wednesday Night Fights every other Wednesday on your boxing channel.
Coming up on your next Wednesday Night Fights, September 11th, rising Guatemalan star Lester Martinez puts his O on the line against fellow undefeated warrior Jeison Showtime James. Live from the ProBox Event Center in Plant City. Get your tickets at ProBoxTV.com or take your chances at the door. Wednesday Night Fights.
Welcome back ringside here at ProBox TV. Jimmy Smith alongside Chris Algeria, Paulie Malignaggi. You talk about ProBox TV and all the action. We just saw in the Dominic Valle fight. Unbelievable performance to stay undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great learning experience. We got a really tough guy in front of him with a good punch. He got tested early and especially late, but he showed his class in those middle rounds and certainly did enough to win on my scorecard.
And Paulie, you talk about going back to the gym and finding those rounds. Hey, here's what you did wrong. Here's what you have to improve, because it only gets tougher here on ProBox TV.
Yeah, not only doing that, I mean, the fact that you get those rounds in the gym is the reason you're able to navigate your way through a fight like this. Well, we talked about how he stayed comfortable the whole way despite being under that duress, under the heat. You know, he ended up winning on scorecards that were relatively wide, but he had to work hard every round. And then those scorecards on paper, you judge that fight with the scorecards on paper, you didn't see the fight physically, you don't know that how much he learned tonight and how much he got out of this tonight. That mentally he can navigate his way through a fight like this. You know you can do it when you do it in the gym. Once you go through it in a fight, it's sort of like a baptism by fire.
Different in there.
Yeah, it's different
in there.
It's always different in there, and a good coach is going to tell you it's only gets harder from here. And the reason ProBox TV has the fight it has is because of the boss. That's right. A message from our boss here at ProBox TV, Gary Jonas. Here it is.
Look, I was there ringside, and I could say it was a lot of fun. You know, and Chris and I were making some eye contact throughout the evening. And look, I wasn't surprised. They call it a big upset, but, you know, Angelo's an ex-champion when he came over to ProBox TV. So I really don't think it was a big surprise. But knocking him out like cold like that kind of got me out of my chair and surprised me a lot. So it was a fun fight to watch, and overall, Angelo did us proud, as did Hot Rod the week before. But Angelo did us proud because it really is a testament to our platform, right? And I think that sometimes boxing fans early on, and when we were establishing the brand, took it for granted because it was free on YouTube. That was a very different approach. Most people didn't do that before. So with that, you would just assume, oh, if it's free on YouTube, it must be junk. And then slowly but surely, we've kind of developed a reputation through some very, very good fights and quality fighters to demonstrate that, hey, this is a serious contender level fight series. And that just because it's free on YouTube, don't punish us for that, just enjoy it.
Get the ProBox TV app, better quality, and never miss out on your boxing news, your Wednesday night fights. Also adding a chat feature, communicate with other fans, because you know everybody's opinionated on ProBox TV. We hear it all the time,
You're
right,
telling
Chris?
me.
Paulie doesn't need to be reminded how opinionated the ProBox TV fans are. Get the app, ProBox TV. Enjoy all the news, all the fights. Never miss out on any of it. The quality is outstanding on the app. Better than here. Moving into our co-main event of the evening. 10 rounds in the Bantamweight division. Oh my God, that's right, September 11th, an amazing card. Lester Martinez, undefeated super middleweight versus Jeison James. That is gonna be incredible. Lester Martinez, last time we saw him at our amazing card in DC, he looked phenomenal that night. Real power, great combinations.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like a new fighter than the guy that we had in our era, and he did it against the best opponent thus far. So that was an extremely impressive night against Carlos Gongora, who's a former world title challenger. Excellent performance from Lester Martinez.
27 combined wins in this fight and no losses. Give me an outstanding night of fight September 11th as our co-main event fighters make their way into the ProBox ring. Take a look at the odds. Angeletti, a gigantic favorite, minus 2,000 over Geraldo Valdez. I think those numbers are absolutely insane, because I think this can be a lot more competitive than that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this guy Valdez he's a bit of a banana peel. He's tough, he's scrappy, he's in there. I mean, I've watched a bunch of tape on him, but Angeletti, he told us, he's like, I'm not a prospect, I'm a contender. I'm ready for the world stage, and he's got to get through Valdez first.
That's right. Look at the height advantage and the reach advantage for Angeletti. We saw it in the Valle fight, able to use that very effectively. Will Angeletti do the same? Jim Sorensen, let's get started in our co-main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for our co-main event of the evening. This fight is scheduled for 10 rounds in the Bantamweight division. Your judges, Jed O'Connor, Max Parker Jr., and Rodolfo Aguilar. And the referee is Gene Del Bianco. Introducing to you first, he fights out of the blue corner. He wears the black and gold trunks. He weighed in at 117 pounds even. His record, 16 wins, just one loss, with 11 wins by knockout. De San Juan de la Maguana, Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Bienvenidos, el gigante pequeño, Geraldo Valdez. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, wearing the silver and gold and green trunks. Weighed in at 117.8 pounds, he is undefeated. His record, 11 wins, with 7 of those wins coming by knockouts. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, representing New Orleans, Louisiana. Give it up for Michael Angeletti.
Whoa, por favor. Buenas noches, good evening, okay? We got 10 rounds tonight. Trunks are okay here, trunks are okay here. Unless there's any preguntas para mí? Questions? Okay, let's touch gloves. Best of luck. Suelta. Let's get to work.
We are underway, our co-main event.
We're good to go.
Michael Angeletti.
Hold on, everyone's out.
Him in the green and silver trunks. Talk about the flashy shorts of Valle. What do you think about these, Paulie?
Yeah, those are up my alley too, bro.
Definitely looks the part, does Angeletti, and if we base it on what we said in the last fight, that the guys with the better clothes can fight, and this guy can fight.
Valdez in the black and gold.
I mean, last fight, Valle had the better clothes, but he had to work for it, so.
Yeah, true.
Let's not underestimate the guy who doesn't have, who loses the fashion battle.
Very, very true, and a similar kind of difference in builds here. Valdez, much shorter, much stockier. Piedrahita able to bull forward the entire time against Valle. Might need a similar strategy from Valdez here. Fighting out of the Dominican Republic.
Angeletti has a great frame for bantamweight, man. Tall, long, wide shoulders. See, he's got that wide leg stance.
He has a little bit of that Junior Jones look for bantamweight.
Definitely looks the part.
Really good world champion out of New York back when I was a teenager.
Junior Poison Jones. He poisoned in that right hand.
Only 28 years old, right in his physical prime is Angeletti. And Chris, you said it before the fight that when I asked him about, how do you feel about being this prospect? He said, no, I'm a contender right now. I'm looking for that big fight.
I like that mindset. I love that kind of mindset. But listen, if you're going to be on our air, you're going to be in tough, and you got to show up. Saying it and doing it are two different things.
Said he fought all over the world as an amateur. I fought in Europe, I fought in Russia, I fought everywhere. All that experience, that's what gives me all my confidence as a professional. Also getting the sound fundamentals. That standout amateur career.
Slip there from Valdez as he was letting loose some good body work. Valdez is tough, not really hard to find. He's a shorter man, comes in with that high guard, but he's got good pop in those fists. He's got 11 KOs and 16 wins. Doesn't mind punching with you either, which makes him a very dangerous puncher.
Yeah, and understands his positioning very, very well, too. Angeletti's putting together some flashy shots, some good speed shots, but Valdez not really breaking position. He's looking to punch back. See, again, right there, gets low, stays, holds that position. High guard, so he can get right back and stress Angeletti.
Valdez also boxed for the national team in the Dominican Republic. Fought internationally as well.
Also from the tape that I watched, fights with a lot of confidence. Again, guys who have power generally have confidence to back that up.
Valdez likes those phone booth fights, likes to get inside, making a punching battle at short range.
Tough to do with a tall, long, athletic guy like Angeletti. You saw the way he just slid back and made Valdez miss. There it is again. And holds his ground well with a nice push-off. You show the physical strength, too, with the positioning.
Mírame. No te puedes descontrolar y entrar de la manera que me estás entrando, ¿ok? Úsame ya para entrar. Si tiraste uno, tirame el dos, termina con la recta, pero tienes que atacarme abajo. Si giras para el lado izquierdo, como estamos diciendo, vamos a conectar a la izquierda. El gancho izquierdo tuyo está conectando lindo. Ese está cuidando el gancho izquierdo. Entonces hay que trabajar con la derecha. Cuando estés adentro, mira, dámele a los brazos, a los codos.
Welcome back. You're looking into the corner of the fighter out of the Dominican Republic, Geraldo Valdez.
Hey, este cabrón no va a ningún lado. Jarrett.
You got anything, Coach Mace?
Michael Angeletti, fighting out of Houston, Texas, representing New Orleans. Survived Hurricane Katrina with his family. Ended up moving out to Texas. Looking for a storm of his own in round number 2. Mostly feeling out in round number 1.
A lot of good training, a lot of good gyms in Houston. I'm sure tons of good sparring being that close to Mexico. Especially for the lighter guys at Bantamweight. Ooh, good sweeping left hook from Valdez.
Yeah, Angeletti has to be careful going straight back like that.
Yeah.
That's what he said when he talked about his fight. He said, I'm more versatile than this guy. Oh, this guy's,
Another big left hook, lands.
Said this guy's a pressure fighter. I can be a pressure fighter too. I can also slip and move. I can also box on the outside. He said that's the difference.
Valdez thinks he found a good weapon in that left hand.
Angeletti, you don't want to get in the mud here with a guy like Valdez. That's what he wants to drag you to, right? He wants to drag you into this kind of fight here. You know, Angeletti has a height advantage, a speed advantage. He's very athletic. Why don't you just keep that fight, you know, keep those tight exchanges to a minimum, just the ones you need. And then sort of lull Valdez to sleep. He's got the height and the frame to do that, and also the speed to do that. It gives Valdez the chance to sort of play in the mud like this. Only increase the confidence of Valdez.
And that's a great way to put it, champ. You know, your feet are stuck. You're not really moving, and it's a dirty fight, right?
Yeah.
You know, chest to chest.
Yeah. Then you wind up, you know, looking for big shots that you don't really need to look at. You know what I'm saying? Look for. Sometimes the simplicity shots are the ones that'll control a guy like this at first, for the first half of the fight.
You brawl a boxer, you box a brawler, right?
You find yourself looking for, you know, big shots that you don't really need to look for. They put you in a position to be at close range and again, be in the mud, like right now.
I fought a few guys in my day like Valdez. They come out and they're meek in round 1. And then round 2 is when they actually are light. And it's very deceptive. And I think Angeletti got tricked a bit here. In the first round, it was easy to keep a distance, use athleticism. He's like, this guy doesn't have that much. I'm going to stay in the center. And he's getting hit with some big shots now. Valdez is bringing it.
Nice, sharp right hand.
Yeah.
He should be jabbing. You know, he should be controlling this fight from range with his jab. You know, he's tall. He's got a good jab. He can control that. Use those feints with his feet. You know, switch it up a little bit.
As we saw with Valle against Piedrahita, Valle never let his ego get involved in the fight. He'd go, I'm going to fight too. He stayed on the outside and boxed well.
Except a bit in the last round, but I don't think he really had a choice in that.
Slow down a little bit.
Nice little defensive moves for Angeletti.
One thing about ProBox, gentlemen.
You see it again right there. Angeletti chose to throw a lead right hand. He just landed a stab jab to the stomach. Chose to throw a lead right hand. You know, you can control with the lead hand for a little bit with a guy like this until you domesticate him. You don't really need to look for big power shots that are complicated unless they present themselves.
Angeletti found his range once again now.
Gets tired here, drop set your right foot and trap him, then he's stuck right there. Then sugar, remember, sugar, dot, 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 those small little steps to your right foot and trap him over that left shoulder. Let's get going a little bit more. You're waiting just a little bit long.
Much better second round. Set her down. Be quick, but set her down.
Welcome back to round number 3. ProBox TV, thank you so much to our ring card girls. Let me know it's round number 3 in a fight where it's clear that the fighter from the Dominican Republic, Geraldo Valdez, isn't just coming in for a check, Paulie. He's fighting in that second round.
Not at all. He's looking to engage and engage often.
Those odds makers didn't watch the film that you and I watched because we knew Valdez was a tough guy.
We talk about Turkey al-Ashik and we talk about ProBox TV. When you make these even fights, the odds makers are thrown for a loop because they've been very, very spoiled boxing odds makers in recent years with bad matchups.
Chris,
Boxing's changing.
Yeah, Chris, you and I were watching the same tape and we're like, oh, Valdez, man, he's a scrapper. He gets in very, very well. And, you know, Piedrahita in the last fight bowled his way in a little bit. See, Valdez isn't really doing that. He's a little
lot
slicker.
more deceptive. A lot more deceptive on his way in. He sets traps.
You saw a few seconds ago, again, Angeletti looking for a lead left hook. Again, it's not necessary that he missed it. He went over the top. Now, again, you're in the mud. I can remember I was in the gym early '07. I was in training camp, and Vernon Forrest was in the gym. And I got into a big gym war.
Great fighter.
Yeah, I got into, and he watched me. I was with a big gym war in the gym. And I come out of the gym, and he's like, "Bro, what are you doing, man?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Bro, you can control with that lead hand. You don't have to force power shots until they're there." He's like, "I'm not telling you not to throw those power shots." He goes, "But control that lead hand, dominate with that lead hand because it's there." And that's something Angeletti could use in this fight here. You know, he could use a Vernon Forrest to tell him that. You know, rest in peace to the champ.
Rest in peace, one of the best jabs in that division ever. Straight right.
And Vernon had a monster right hand, but he knew how to marinate things first with that lead hand.
Vernon could do it all. Crushed Sugar Shane with that right hand, man.
And I feel like Angeletti sort of needs to find that balance. He has the physical tools. It's the decision making that sometimes betrays him. You know, he's a bit too anxious. You know, he is part Italian. Maybe it's the emotional part of him. You know, that makes him want to fight more than he needs to.
The Paulie Malignaggi part of him, a little too emotional, but you see Valdez, you know, nice head movement, a little slick. Is it that amateur background, Chris, that maybe Piedrahita didn't have? This guy boxed in the national team for the Dominican Republic, fought in a lot of different countries.
Oh, I mean,
better fundamentals.
Completely different fighter than Piedrahita that we saw in the last round. He was more of a bull in a china shop. Valdez, like I said, a lot more deceptive on his way in. Nice body shot by Valdez there, right into the body. He lulls you. He'll play nice, and then he gets real mean real fast.
Switching gears in a way that you guys have recommended for shorter fighters, having to get inside to come at different speeds.
Also, very good hand positioning from Valdez. Keeps those hands up nice and tight and high. He's got that confidence. He's obviously physically strong. You can see that even just looking past the numbers.
Good footwork there.
Understands how to fight as a little man.
Angeletti does have good movement.
I see that a little guy who jabs with the taller man. You can jab with the jabber.
Paul, as you pointed out, we're loading up on those single power shots.
You know, again, with the lead hand, you can shoot that jab. You can also kind of probe with it. You know, you can probe with it and shoot it upstairs, downstairs, feint with it, probe with it, measure your opponent so he doesn't penetrate. You know, Angeletti's not using that with the lead hand. You see, he's just looking to throw right away.
Excellent back and forth fight for both fighters.
Estamos peleando ahora como animales. Usted no pelea. Dame el boque, dame el cabrón boque. Dame el cabrón boque. Dale, dame, cupa aquí. Fuck. Ya está. Hey, te necesito vivo. Te necesito vivo. ¿Me estás entendiendo? Papi, no podemos trabajar así. No podemos trabajar así. ¿Me estás entendiendo? Te está ganando por la derecha. Ese round nos votamos, ¿ok?
Our main event coming up next, Jarrett Hurd versus Jeison Rosario. Tonight has been any indication that's going to be an incredible, exciting, competitive fight. And that's what we have had throughout our whole card tonight, including this co-main event. Michael Angeletti, a huge favorite, minus 2,000 over Geraldo Valdez. All of us sitting at the table thought that was insane, and this is why. It's been a competitive fight, for sure.
Also, Valdez is such a small target. You know, you look for these big shots. He's already small and compact to begin with. Another reason why you want to sort of open him up little by little and not look for anything too crazy with him. Once he gets low, he's already small, then he gets low and compact. Not a big target there. So again, no probing with the lead hand, no measuring with the lead hand from Angeletti, when you can stay on the back foot and sort of draw something out of the smaller Valdez.
One thing Angeletti certainly has is that big fight experience. He fought on Showtime multiple times. PBC's 2022 Prospect of the Year. He's used to having a lot of hype and a lot of attention.
Well, he's got a great platform now to showcase his skills. But he needs to take advantage of this opportunity here against a very tough, very capable Valdez.
But gentlemen, as we've seen so many times on ProBox TV, attention cuts both ways. Valdez is coming out of nowhere in the Dominican Republic. A win tonight would be huge for him, and he knows that.
Yeah, well, that's what we say. We don't have opponents on these cards. I mean, these are competitive fights. We have two A-sides, essentially.
Ooh, nice head movement coming out with the left hook.
Forcing the right hand is Angeletti.
That's what I mean about Valdez. He will punch with you. Those kind of guys are dangerous. And you got a guy with short arms on the inside. A lot of times they can get there first. Angeletti has a gift. He's tall, he's long, he has range, but he's giving it up.
No feints from Angeletti either. You can change looks here.
There's
a little feint right there. Just as I said,
maybe he heard you.
It worked. And it works. See how that feint works?
Yep.
You throw off it can be a bit deceptive there.
And there he used the feint jab to pull, to draw it out of Valdez. That was smart. Got away, wasn't able to counter, but...
Still want to see that a little bit of a range finding with the lead hand, you know?
You know, I'm starting to see from Angeletti a little bit of hesitancy. He's not throwing those big shots anymore because he started to miss more and more, taking the power off of his punches here, which means he needs to be more active.
Valdez, 11 knockouts in his 16 wins. Angeletti, 7 KOs in 11 wins.
There's a bit of aiming from Angeletti. It's almost like not natural. I don't know if that's because of the hesitancy that he keeps missing, and then he winds up, like I said earlier, sort of in the mud because Valdez gets all dirty, makes it all rough once you miss a power shot and you get off balance. But you don't want to see that either when you're aiming your shots. That's also, first of all, it's going to take too much power off them. It's going to get no snap, and second of all, it's going to become a little bit telegraphed.
Better work with the jab from Angeletti.
Wednesday night fights.
Dynamite action on Wednesday night fights every other Wednesday on your boxing channel.
Coming up on your next Wednesday night fights, September 11th, rising Guatemalan star Lester Martinez puts his O on the line against fellow undefeated warrior Joison Showtime James. Live from the ProBox Event Center in Plant City. Get your tickets at ProBoxTV.com or take your chances at the door. Wednesday night fights.
Lester Martinez wants to be to Guatemala, what so many great fighters have been to Mexico. What Alexis Arguello was to Nicaragua. The name you think of when you think of that country in boxing. It's your night, says the corner of Geraldo Valdez. Michael Angeletti, as you champs have pointed out, doing better work with the jab in the last round, not overcommitting with those power shots. Now his range a little bit better.
Yeah, this is what Angeletti should have been doing from the beginning, using that lead jab and left hook, getting creative with that front hand. Create space and openings.
Not everything's landing. Probably none of it is landing that cleanly, but again, you don't want to let Valdez get the confidence to keep getting the salvos off.
Stab jab landing nice.
Valdez
for Angeletti.
Yeah, and the black and gold from Dominican Republic, the shorter fighter at a range disadvantage, but able to get inside and do some work.
See, that double jab and then that looping right hand was so unnecessary. If you straightened that shot out, it would have landed.
Right. I think he's hesitating because he's missed over the top with the straight right hands before. I think an uppercut's there, and also just punching from a little bit shorter range. You can move, you can touch like that and change your height. You can touch like that and then change your height and see what reaction Valdez will give you. Instead, again, it's just an overall. The overall combination of things that Angeletti could do here in this fight is we get more out of what he naturally brings to the table.
I like that hook off the jab. Nice stab jab there. And he'll jab and he'll throw the left hook upstairs.
You pointed out earlier in the fight as well, Chris, that Valdez hasn't made a lot of mistakes with his hand positioning. Hands really tight, been disciplined, very, very high, chin down.
He understands what he is. He's a short guy for the weight class. He stays short, stays small. He's a small target. Keeps his hands in the right position, so if things do get through, he doesn't get under them. He's got his gloves in the way. He's a physically strong guy, so he doesn't mind taking them on the gloves. That's the thing that people don't realize. If you're going to be a fighter who keeps their hands up, you need to be physically strong.
Angeletti saying to you, punching low, and Valdez is saying you're jumping, of course it's low.
Very good point.
I'm
aiming for the body. You're the one moving.
I don't think these guys speak the same language, but they both speak boxing.
They both get it. No miscommunication in there so far. Starting to get a little bit chippy, a little bit personal in there.
There's that nice uppercut attempt. I think this is what Angeletti needs, to get a little looser in there. And it seems like he got spurred on and woke up a little bit there. He has such great athleticism, but he's not capitalizing off of that.
Talked about him being a much bigger man.
Nice feints, yep.
He's also very explosive, very, very strong.
Yeah, you can see the physical strength even in the way he holds his positioning and posture. He's able to even hold off Valdez, who's a very strong guy, because he's got his feet in the right position.
In that shell and answering back with a combination of his own is Angeletti. End of the round. We're halfway done, gentlemen.
Back sharp again. Let's be right in the middle of the ring. Keep doubling your left, and not overshooting, all right?
Fight your fight. Don't listen to the crowd. Fight your fight. Looking good. Fight your fight.
Welcome back.
Start taking points. I know what you're saying. I've said the same thing to him, John.
Yeah. So behind the head, that's all.
Angeletti talking to the referee about shots in the back of the head. Good stuff, though, in that last round from Valdez with the combinations, but good job answering back is Angeletti.
I mean, both men had their moments there. Valdez has that tricky left hook that he gets inside the guard and lands right on the cheekbone of Angeletti, but he came right back with a beautiful combination.
Not landing cleanly either, though. You know, it's like everything, even whatever they do land, it's partially blocked or misses altogether.
Back half of this 10-rounder, round number 6. In the silver, green, and gold is Michael Angeletti, undefeated 11-0, 7 knockouts. Versus Geraldo Valdez from the Dominican Republic, 16-1.
Styles of this fight have not really gelled terrifically. You know? It's a bit awkward for both guys.
Yeah, not a lot of super clean shots landed. A lot of that like partially blocked off the glove. That shows you the strength of Valdez, man. He does have some heavy hands. He punches through the gloves at times.
Paul, you were never a giant in your weight class. The idea that Valdez, he's used to people trying to bully him around, right? He's used to people trying to push him a little bit.
I'd assume so at this weight. You know, he's probably used to being a shorter guy. I mean, don't get me wrong, Angeletti's also very tall for his height, you know? When I was a super lightweight, I was more so average height. You know, I was taller than some of my opponents actually, but at welter, it was less common.
I don't think that Valdez is necessarily getting pushed around.
No, he's not at all. That's my point. It seems like he's like, hey, I'm the small guy, but you're not going to push me around.
A lot of times, Angeletti's the one that's giving up his own height.
Yeah. And we saw that on the tape, Jimmy. I mean, he's a very strong, confident guy. He fights inside. You don't see him taking a backward step very often. Shot there.
No punch.
See, this range here, this is where Angeletti has all the advantages. Right there, right in that middle distance range, especially with a shorter guy along the ropes.
What did he do with those choices?
Not a whole lot.
Let Valdez right back in the middle of the ring.
Neither guy's landing cleanly. Both guys seem a little bit frustrated in that. The fight just has not been able to unlock at all. Awkward clinching. You see, it's just one of those fights that the styles have not gelled really.
So according to the odds makers,
they already lost.
This is going to be a blowout.
I got news for you.
Luckily, I don't think odds makers live off their boxing odds because, you know, like I said, this year and last year probably boxing odds makers have actually had to work and they haven't shown that they're that good.
Ooh, good hand position there from Angeletti, catches that left hook.
Up in a sharp right hand as well.
Ooh, nice. Good angle there from Angeletti, finishing this round really strong.
Best.
And a body shot.
¿Estás bien? Escúchame. Pon la cabeza, dale, pon la cabeza abajo, pon la cabeza abajo. Ponme la cabeza acá abajo y escúchame. Estás perdiendo esta pelea si tú no aprietas. Vas a perder esta pelea si tú no aprietas. ¿Me estás entendiendo? Te he dicho desde el primer round que tires. Mira, tira a la izquierda, pero del lado izquierdo.
Geraldo Valdez, his corner telling him, you got to tighten up or you're going to lose this fight. Looks like that man Angeletti finding his range at the end of the round.
You don't need to, okay? Just go. Throw in between. Remember, no more than 2 catches. Bang, bang, pop.
Here we see some of that action from the last round. Little pop right hand and angle creation there. I love that. And that's what we need from Angeletti more of, using those creative openings, that athleticism. Pops that right hand, steps out, steps around, creates an opening. Finished both the last 2 rounds with some really nice combinations.
Start of round number 7. Download the ProBox TV app. We're getting some great super chats, by the way. Appreciate those very, very much. A lot of fan activity. ProBox TV app and our YouTube channel. You guys are outstanding. Right now it is Michael Angeletti trying to get work done. A huge favorite in this fight, but Geraldo Valdez has not gone away, the fighter from the Dominican Republic.
Jimmy, you mentioned those super chats, man. It's ProBox TV. We are definitely the most interactive, fan-friendly out there in the boxing world today. Between post-fight discussions, during the fight, super chats.
Good shot from Angeletti. Big left hook thrown from Valdez. Canelo, September 14th. That's where we are going to be. Las Vegas, talking to all the boxers, all the stars, all the big names in the sport. Nice left hook from Angeletti.
Yeah, Angeletti's starting to peel away now these last couple rounds. He's starting to show his class. Beautiful athleticism there, good defense, good ring generalship. Letting those hands go. That left hook is finding a home.
See it all the time. Great fighters have multiple gears, multiple strategies, and Angeletti wasn't using the jab that effectively early on in the fight. Certainly doing it now.
My coach used to always say, everybody can fight for 3 rounds. What happens on the back end?
I also like that check hook he's trying to try to throw on the entrance from Valdez. You know, it sort of, even if it doesn't land, it shows Valdez that he can't just walk straight in and close that gap and get body to body. Because I notice when Valdez makes it body to body, man, still not everything lands, or most of the stuff doesn't even land, but it just makes it ugly and makes it uncomfortable for Angeletti.
Angeletti's finding his distance now. He's using nice hard foot feints, stepping in with the jab, hooking off that jab, like you said, Champ, that check / hook off jab. Really, really nice, classy stuff.
And again, it's simple stuff. You see, that's what I'm saying. He was trying to complicate it before, looking for all the complicated shots. A jab and a check hook will control range here with against Valdez. Maybe mixing a few feints, a couple level changes, probing, use left hand probing like this, which I was asking for a few rounds ago. See now, when you're probing with it, what happens? You establish the measurement. You mix that with snappy jabs, and now you've got a confusing, deceptive lead hand. And you see it's working beautifully.
This fight's a battle of real estate. When, to use your term, stuck in the mud like this, you know, that's where Valdez has his best chance. But this middle distance, how are you going to compete with a guy who has that kind of height and reach on you, not to mention the athleticism and the power?
He's figuring out how to maintain it at that distance.
Putting Valdez in his place and keeping him there.
Angeletti seems to have found the winning combination, and Valdez changed things.
Looking at Jimmy talking about some of the super chats. I'm looking at the chats over here. Jaguar 1314 gives $5, and he says, oh.
From that the overhand right, that right hook. You think he can catch him with the 6? What you think?
Might be. Just got to feint a little bit more. Once he frees him, break that guard up.
Welcome back into the corner of Michael Angeletti. Things going well for him. Paulie, since we got some super chats.
Yeah, I'm looking at, you know, you mentioned super chats. I went to look at between rounds. Jaguar 1314 wanted to let Falcone Sports know that he's a broke fool. He put in a super chat. He super chatted that just to make.
He spent more money.
Just to emphasize
he
it.
spent more money.
Just to let him know that just to let the other guy know that he doesn't have money, I guess.
There you go. It happens.
He says Falcone Sports is a broke fool. Right?
Round number 8.
Some rivalries going on in the super chats.
Oh, it happens all the time. Angeletti versus Valdez. Valdez in the black and gold. Angeletti in the silver, green, and gold.
And Angeletti's throwing some real heat now. Once he's got his feet set, he threw some really nasty right hands. Now he's throwing that check hook. Good feints to set these shots up. We're looking at a different fight here.
Remember, guys, now you can also super chat on our app. Download the ProBox TV app.
See these fights in high quality and chat with other boxing fans. Never miss your boxing news. We're on air daily.
Daily news, shows, big fight breakdowns, the better side. I mean, everything you need for a boxing fan.
You have J-Rod's horrible jackets, everything. Everything you need. It's
really
just
bad.
We're your one-stop shop for boxing, man.
That's your reason to tune in. And fashion, Paul. You know,
really bad fashion advice. Oh, beautiful. Uppercut left hook combination. Backs up Valdez. That hurt.
That hurt bad.
When you see that vein in the neck, that's when you know a guy's hurt to the body. I used to love
another shot to the body. Valdez in big trouble.
Oh, body shot. I told you, man, we had a different fight. Beginning of this round.
Angeletti started establishing some of the distance to get leverage on those punches. Everything's changed.
Veteran moves from Valdez, trying to hang on, but he is getting tattooed.
And you saw that uppercut, it's about time.
That uppercut to the left hook to the liver, that started all the trouble for Valdez. Now he cannot keep Angeletti off of him.
This round has changed things a lot as Angeletti's found that home for that uppercut.
Well, it was everything you were talking about early on, champ, the things that Angeletti wasn't do. He figured it out. He found his way. He started holding his ground, keeping position, and then from there it's been shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah, now look, Angeletti, now look the difference. Valdez is not even confident at close range. Before Valdez at close range would make it ugly, would get physical.
Beautiful roll counter there. Oh, nice.
And the precision, gentlemen, of finding the body target on a guy that size, not easy to do.
And Valdez holding at close range. When before he was trying to be boss inside.
There he is posting with that lead hand now.
Ooh. Nothing takes it out of you like a body shot. Valdez finding that out in round number 8.
When Angeletti gets going, man, it's pretty. He throws textbook shots with the right hand and the left hook.
Now the smile on Angeletti, he knows he's growing in confidence as well.
Showboating a little bit.
At this point, he's in the groove.
Yeah, he realizes he's breaking his opponent. He's found something.
The body shots that have finally slowed Valdez down. But Valdez will see the end of round number 8. Read and react. That's what Angeletti has done so well these last couple rounds. It's paying dividends.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really dominant round from Angeletti. You know, here we're going to see that uppercut, left hook to the liver. That's what had Valdez in a world of trouble. That was the first time we saw him back up. I always talk about that neck vein. You see that vein bulging? That means your body's hurt. And Angeletti kept going.
And he sure was.
Beautiful stuff here, really picking his punches, got Valdez pinned against the ropes, and that's exactly what I was talking about a few rounds earlier. This is where Angeletti needs to be working, and work he did.
Yeah, he's starting to separate himself a little bit in this fight now.
A lot of it.
In the closing
right
rounds.
right up kick, okay?
By the way, speaking of broke fools,
right.
Brian Phillips wanted us to let it, he says, I'm a broke fool. Like
They're competing about who is the broker fool.
Yeah, awesome. This is a wild super chat going on tonight.
Well, you know what? That's the beautiful thing about ProBox TV. It's free. So you can be a broke fool.
And B. Paulie said, B. Paulie, like a bumblebee, came here from TBV, and that's the GOAT, the Boxing Boys.
Nice.
Shout out to the Boxing Boys. Shout out to the Boxing Boys. They interviewed Gary Jonas 3 days ago. Check that interview out, guys.
They actually just interviewed you and I earlier tonight.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That'll be out. That'll be out soon.
That's right.
Round number 9, this 10-rounder, and Michael Angeletti, gigantic favorite in this fight. Starting to show that in the last few rounds, working the body of Valdez, almost had a knockdown in the last round.
ATL Unanimous Boxing Boxing Sports. ATL Unanimous Boxing Sports has some advice for Valdez. He says, grab him and hold him. And after the last round, that's exactly what Valdez was doing in big spots in the close.
Able to survive. We talked about his amateur background, very experienced amateur, 16-1 as a pro, so did some veteran stuff hanging on in that round. It's so hard to get it back. You talk about fighting in the mud, taking body shots. You can't breathe your stuff. It happens all the time.
Especially late in the fight. I mean, you got a guy with the advantages that Angeletti has. He's taller, he's longer, he's more athletic. You know, it starts to wear on you. And Valdez was very durable early, was very adept at catching those shots, but Angeletti has created openings and found the holes. Ooh, good body shot again on the right side, back up to the uppercut.
That uppercut is again back. Ooh. And it opens up the straight right hands, too, because now what happens, Valdez he can't just dip low anytime he wants to, because he's got to be leery of the uppercut that Angeletti could throw. So now he stays up a little higher, and it opens up the straight right hand for Angeletti. And there it is right there. See, he didn't get down underneath that one.
And Angeletti feinted Valdez out of his shoes there. And that's one thing. When you start making movements that you don't need because your opponent is feinting you, it's that much more tiring.
And Angeletti, you feel the difference. He's floating. He's having fun. He's enjoying being in there the last couple rounds.
Yeah, his body language totally says that.
He wasn't enjoying the early rounds.
No, he was very uncomfortable early on. But it's definitely found his flow, found his range. This is the guy that we were looking for all night long.
You talk about that gel, Paulie, of these two styles. Really starting to gel for Angeletti, right?
Absolutely. Well, gelling for one of them.
Yeah, gelling for one of them.
Valdez would like to ungel it a little more.
Yeah, Valdez liked it when it was not gelling. Oh, I love that shot. I love that uppercut to the left hook to the liver.
Yeah, and what it does, it basically, when you throw that uppercut down the middle, it closes the arms up tight. So you open up the sides.
Showing up now in response to those body shots.
And you open up the sides, which is, you know, a cleaner body shot.
Referee's taking a close look at this one.
See, ATL Unanimous Boxing.
There you go.
Bad to the body. Those uppercuts are really killing Valdez here, but it's the body work that has been the difference.
10 seconds left in round number 9. Valdez will see the bell yet again.
Valdez is tough, man. Took some big shots these last 2 rounds. Valdez walked back to the corner looking dejected.
First of all, he went to the neutral corner first.
Yeah, first. He's like, I just need to sit down.
El último round. ¿Estamos bien?
Este tiene que ser tu round. Tiene que ser tu round.
No, gordo, ya. Échale más estamos bien. Échale agua, dale agua. Estamos bien.
Okay.
Here we see it's all Angeletti. I mean, especially when Valdez is along the ropes, but it's that left hook right there to the liver, underneath the elbow. You see the reaction. There you see him grit his teeth. You see the mouthpiece, and then he dives in to stop the action. Angeletti having his way when Valdez is along those ropes.
Hey, let's close the show. Round 10. Let's close it. Let's close it. Let's close it. Let's make it.
Angeletti's corner calling for the end of the fight. Let's close it. Let's close the show, meaning they want the knockout.
The 10th and final round underway in our co-main event. Geraldo Valdez from the Dominican Republic in black and gold versus Michael Angeletti, silver, green, and gold. Angeletti probably way ahead on the scorecards, but in a fight where he's had Valdez hurt in the last couple rounds, his corner said, finish it out.
I think it's going to be really difficult for Valdez to see the end of this fight.
Yeah, now
Angeletti's really on.
He's framing him on the inside, too, making sure he creates that space.
And Angeletti has said, I want the big fights, I want the big opportunities, I want to be a contender. Finish. That's how you get chosen for those big fights.
Valdez's only chance to survive is going to make it really ugly.
Yeah, and it seems like he's here in the 10th round just only looking to get to the distance, while Angeletti would love to get a finish here. He can sense it.
There's some fighting back from Valdez here. But yeah, see a lot of it's going to be a lot of holding. Valdez is in 100% survival mode at this point. Valdez has shown a good chin. He's taking the shots upstairs quite well, but the body shots, man, that's been the real difference. That's where we've actually seen him visibly hurt.
And on a much shorter guy. And that's very impressive, the precision of those body punches.
Oh, there's a good deep body shot there.
And he set them up in various ways, man. Yes. One of those beautiful ways was by using the uppercut with the right hand to set up the left hook to the body.
It does 3 things. It splits the guard, it splits it picks the head up, and it creates that opening to land that left hook to the body.
And why does it create that opening, champ? Because again, like I said, it brings the arms that are up at the guard, it tightens them up close. So therefore, the sides open up now, and they're exposed for the body shot. So, and it's an instant reaction. You get a body shot, you get an uppercut that comes to the middle. A guy who's got his hands up will bring his hands close together, his arms close together.
And also, it's something that may not be readily apparent to everyone on the ProBox TV app.
those body shots here in the arena are stunning. You can almost feel them from ringside. It doesn't always translate on TV, but it's true.
Anyone in the South Florida area, you should really come down and check a fight out live. We've got such a great arena here. It's packed. You can hear everything. The acoustics in here are fantastic. Not a bad seat in the house either.
The energy's great, man. Fans here love it. And look at the combinations from Angeletti having fun in this final round.
Listen, I got to tip my hat to Valdez. He's a tough cookie, man. He got hit with some big shots tonight against a very, very talented Angeletti.
Minus 2,000 odds showed in the second half of the fight. The last third of the fight.
Yeah, I think it was round 7 on. It was really, I mean, Angeletti showed just a completely different level of skill.
Lester Martinez, of course, outstanding super middleweight, 168 pounds, has looked absolutely fantastic. Well, he will be on our air yet again, September 11th here, ProBox TV. Don't miss it.
Well, yes, a new rival, a new opponent, and well, I say that the preparation has always been. We've always kept it at a very high level, whether it's with a new fighter, an experienced fighter, a professional, a dangerous one, a novice. We always keep it high so that on the day of the fight, everything goes well. We know that the career, the path is long, and as you progress, it becomes more complicated. And now, obviously, we are at the peak of the mountain of fights against rivals, as they say. So we know that things are going to get more complicated, and we are ready to face those challenges, right? Because in the end, that's what we were aiming for, to get to fight with world-class boxers, for the world to see us, to recognize us, for legendary people, boxers, to see us face great opponents, great boxers. And well, we are making progress little by little. As for me, the commitment is getting more serious. And that's what I want, what we are aiming for, what Guatemala wants. And little by little, we are getting closer to the world title. Well, I'm one of those fighters who talk a lot, but let me tell you to prepare well, because I am preparing absolutely well. I'm striving to win this fight. And if I manage to win by knockout, even better for me, for my team, for Guatemala. And be careful, because I hope you don't get injured like it has happened before with other boxers. Let's have a very good fight, and I'm sure that's how it's going to be.
Martinez knows what it takes to be successful. Here at ProBox TV, Lester Martinez versus Jojo James, 18-0, 15 knockouts. These two fighters, a combined 27 wins with no losses. That's going to be an incredible fight. Check it out Wednesday, September 11th. ProBox TV Event Center right here. But we have our decision in our co-main event. Jim, take it.
And ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up. Show these fighters some love. After 10 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Max Parker Jr. scores this bout 97-93. Judges Jed O'Connor and Rodolfo Aguilar scored this bout 98-92 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And still undefeated, Michael Angeletti!
Great job for Michael Angeletti, a winner by unanimous decision, but certainly early on in the fight, he earned this one, gentlemen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I thought the scores were good. I think they're representative of how this fight went. You know, 97-93 on one judge, 98-92 on the other, meaning that Valdez won 2 to 3 rounds, which makes sense in my book.
Yeah, he had to work for it early on, had to think his way through, but once he solved the puzzle, he looked well, he looked good.
7, 8, 9, 10, come very, very dominant.
Once he got that range, excellent body work, excellent combinations, fantastic stuff. He stays undefeated, 12 wins, 7 knockouts. Incredible ability, and he'll be back soon. ProBox TV, he said, I'm ready for the big fights. We'll see him again, see if he gets him. Jojo Diaz, you know the name, you know the ability. Do you know the struggle? That is the question. Our own boss, Gary Jonas, talks about him.
So yeah, Jojo's another one of those opportunities where, you know, understandably his career has gone a little sideways, and he's available to us. But when we started talking to Jojo, one of the reasons I was willing to take a shot on him is I was so impressed that he had voluntarily put himself into treatment, and he was taking his treatment very seriously. For those of you who don't know, I am the owner, founder, CEO of White Sands Treatment Centers. We've got a few hundred beds here in Florida. And so I basically said to him, I said, well, listen, why don't you get over here now? Come into treatment. The White Sands Treatment Center is 50 yards from the ProBox TV event center and training facility. Why don't you come over here now, stay in treatment, and just go train every day, right up until the fight, which is October 9th. And he jumped on it, and he's in treatment now. He got in last week. He's in treatment. He's living there. He's staying there overnight. He's going to all his groups, all his classes, all his therapy. He's obviously eating great. And then he kind of cuts out the back fence. We take him over to the building, and he's training really hard. So it's a great story. He's in a great environment. I'm glad he's taking advantage of this. I was hoping one day we could do this with somebody. And so we're able to do it with Jojo. And let's see what happens, man. I mean, it may be his silver bullet. Jojo may look like Jojo of old simply because of that environment that he's in.
Welcome back ringside here at ProBox TV. It's been an absolutely fantastic night of fights. You heard about the trials of Jojo Diaz, one of the greatest fighters of his era. He'll be, of course, joining us ringside to not talk about just his fighting career, but the struggles he has had outside of the ring and what he's doing to overcome them when we come back to ProBox TV. Main event to come.
Night Fights.
Dynamite action on Wednesday Night Fights every other Wednesday on your boxing channel.
Coming up on your next Wednesday Night Fights, September 11th, rising Guatemalan star Lester Martinez puts his O on the line against fellow undefeated warrior Jeison Showtime James. Live from the ProBox Event Center in Plant City. Get your tickets at ProBoxTV.com or take your chances at the door. Wednesday Night Fights.
See in front of you the ProBox TV ring. For a lot of people, a lot of fighters, the ring isn't just a place to make money. It's a place to escape, to be at your best. Where it's hard to be at your best is outside the ring. Someone who has struggles inside and outside, but is coming back to boxing and ProBox TV. Jojo Diaz joining us now, man. Explain this timing and why you want to come back now. What's going on with your life, man?
Oh, it's a perfect timing, man. I was already in a rehabilitation center, you know, getting my treatment that I need to overcome my addiction. And I ended up getting a call from Robert Diaz and Greg stating that they have a rehabilitation center and they could actually give me a fight as well. And the opponent was a well-named opponent as well, Nicholas Walters, so it made perfect sense, man. And I just thank God for giving me this opportunity to get my life straight for my kids and my family, and also get back in the ring at my best.
Champ, first of all, I mean, welcome to ProBox Arena. I'm really happy to see you and meet you over here. Looking forward to calling your fights too. I mean, that's really cool too. You know, talk to us about like what was that moment where you're like, man, I gotta fix this. I gotta get this right. I gotta get back in there.
Oh man, it was after the Oscar Duarte fight, man. After the Oscar Duarte fight, I started drinking again. It got to the point where I was drinking 2 weeks, a week before my fights, every single fight, man.
How are you making weight?
I wasn't. I wasn't making weight, man. That was the thing, dude. So I was still battling that demon, man, in me, and I'm just very, very fortunate that I'm getting this opportunity to actually be at my prime still at 31 years old and be healthy 100% for my next fight.
You know, at ProBox TV, Jojo, we've been slowly growing the level of the fights we've brought here. Always competitive, always fun fights. We've had guys who've gone on to become world champions. We've had ex-world champions. Tonight we have our first showcase where it's going to be two former world champions against one another in our main event. For the first time, it's going to be world champion against world champion, ex-world champion against ex-world champion. you know, you bringing up Nicholas Walters, it's ex-world champion against ex-world champion, so you're sort of following in that footstep as well as the channel grows and we're bringing in quality guys.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, ProBox TV, man, is bringing some great fights, and I'm excited to actually be performing here on this television broadcast. And Nicholas Walters, I mean, I grew up watching him, man.
Yeah.
So
and he looked good on his fight here. He upset
man.
Joe Adorno.
Yeah, exactly. He's a good fighter, man, and I know that this is a perfect time, and God is placing me at this moment for a reason, and I know I'm going to be on my best, and I'm going to come out victorious October 9th.
How much are those things related, where it's like the harder I train, the harder I fight, the easier it is to overcome the problems in my life? You know, how much are those two things related to you in your mind?
Yeah, man, it was mostly me putting Christ first. I actually got baptized over there in Soba, my first recovery center. I got baptized, man, and I gave my life to Christ, repented all my sins, man, and started living a better Christian life, man, putting God first and seeking Him first through it all. And man, my whole mindset is different, dude. Before, man, when I was drinking, dude, I was having withdrawals. I was having racing thoughts, thinking that the world was going to end, thinking I was going to die, having all the anxieties, and now all that is away all through Him, man. So I'm just very, very thankful.
Jojo, it's not just great to have you back as a fighter, but to have you back as a human being is an honor for all of us here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Always to see you, brother.
Bless you guys.
On to our main event, where the story, once again, gentlemen, is redemption. We talk about that second opportunity. You become a world champion, you fall off that mountain. It seems so incredibly high, but both these guys in the same spot.
Yeah, I mean, it's I wouldn't say desperation, but there is a desperation when you're coming back. You know what I mean? Like, you want to reach that mountaintop again, and you know what it feels like, and you feel like if I get there this time, I'm going to understand it better. I'm going to understand how to navigate it better. But you got to get there first. You got to show you're hungry enough first.
I got to appreciate that. You see the odds: Jarrett Hurd minus 205 to Jeison Rosario's plus 165, but well, I know one thing about ProBox TV, throw the odds out the window.
Yeah. These odds makers don't understand the way that our matchmakers work, that we're actually making competitive fights that can go either way. We don't have B-sides, all-action fights. We match people up to put on good performances.
The interesting thing is, with all the history these guys have, 33 and 29 years old, respectively, not that old, might be in their physical primes. That is so important. Both guys just under 6 feet tall. You see the weights there, reach advantage for Jarrett Hurd. Can they reignite their careers at middleweight? Jim, get our main event going.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for, our main event of the evening. This 10-round fight in the middleweight division is brought to you by Sports Betting AG, bringing you the best odds for sports betting online. Your judges for this fight: Joanne Richard, Michael Ross, and Jed O'Connor. And your referee, the third man in the ring, is Christopher Young. Introducing to you first, he fights out of the blue corner. He wears the white and green with gold trim trunks. He weighed in at 164 pounds even. His record: 24 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, with 18 wins by knockout. Representing Dominican Republic, fighting out of Miami, Florida, he is the former IBO, IBF, and WBA super welterweight champion of the world. Bienvenidos, Jeison Banana Rosario. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he wears the black, white, and yellow trunks. He weighed in at 162.4 pounds. His record: 25 wins, 3 losses, with 17 wins by knockout. He is the former IBO, IBF, and WBA super welterweight champion of the world. From Accokeek, Maryland, welcome Swift Jarrett Hurd.
Okay, gentlemen. All right, I can say here, legal here, I can say illegal here. Gentlemen, I need you to make a few things. First off, don't hit the referee. Fight hard, fight clean, touch him up.
Someone joining us at the desk right now, and a man who knows Jeison Rosario well, knocked him out in 2021. Erickson Lubin, great to have you with us, my man.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
This is, as you said, Paulie, desperation. I don't think it's too strong of a word. I think both guys feel the pressure of an impressive performance tonight.
Bro, when you're on that comeback trail, you're trying to prove that you got what once took you to the mountaintop. And now you get to that sort of 50-50 fight on that comeback trail. Well, you know, there is pressure, man. I mean, you gotta now prove that. You know, you've gotten your comeback opponents out of the way. You gotta prove it now. You gotta win here, and you're looking at a possible world title fight.
Jarrett Hurd in the black, white, and yellow stiff jab to start out. Jeison Rosario in the white, green, and gold.
We used to have the last chance tournament on our air. And if this is kind of a last chance opportunity, this is a win or go home type situation for these two guys. The winner is in title contention. The loser may need to pack it in.
And they were world champions around the same time. I mean, Jarrett Hurd lost the world championship to Julian Williams, who then lost that same world championship in his first defense to Jeison Rosario. So, I mean, they were right around each other's orbit.
Now, Erickson, you fought Rosario, able to knock him out. Both these guys very offensively minded, but you can get to them if you're busy and you throw with power. Is that the case here, Erickson?
Yeah, absolutely. I think stylistically they match up great. Rosario, he's very aggressive, and so is Hurd. So, you know, we're in for a treat.
Yeah, I mean, you know both these guys very well. I'm sure they were talking about being in their orbit. You know, you fought Rosario, but I'm sure Hurd was on your hit list as well.
Yeah, for sure.
On your radar, I should say.
He had the unified titles. I wanted to fight him too, but he lost to Julian Williams, and Rosario beat Williams. Ended up getting Rosario after that. He lost to Charlo. But you know, it's a good matchup to me, and I'm just here as a fan. I'm watching and paying close attention.
Well, you're one of the reasons Rosario's trying to come back now.
This fight taking place in the middleweight division. I don't know how much you can tell on the ProBox TV app. Jarrett Hurd is a gigantic fighter.
He was, you know, Jimmy, he was big at 154. We always used to get a kick out of how big he was at junior middleweight. It's crazy how even at middleweight he looks big. And, you know, I want to bring out something because he brought up to our attention that he was going to be more defensively responsible in the interview he had with us at ProBox TV on our ProBox TV show. Yeah. And so far I see him more bladed out on his shoulder, trying to jab. He's actually fight on the back foot. He's circling the ring. He's letting Rosario come forward. And he's trying to dictate with that lead hand. And he's in a little bit of a crouch as well. So he is trying to stay defensively responsible. Now, whether that mentality will stay if Rosario starts landing shots, we'll see.
He's been flashing an effective jab thus far, splitting the guard of Rosario, popping his head back, you know, firing out of that crouched bladed position. I like how he's changing levels with that jab, too. He's getting low, jabbing high. Oh, uptown jab.
Yeah, gets that crouch, too, a little bit. And Rosario seems like he's throwing off by it, too.
Yeah.
He didn't expect to see this version of Jarrett. There's a feint there as well. He was crafty there, Jarrett Hurd.
10 seconds, Jimmy, 10 seconds.
Jarrett Hurd living up to his word, being a little bit more defensive in round number one, fighting smart.
El guy, grab his cup. El guy así, pica aquí, pica aquí. Mira, give him some water. Hold his cup. Solo necesita más jab. Bing ba. Double, triple the jab. Pero bueno round.
Jarrett Hurd into his corner. Did a good job staying behind the jab in round number one. You see Erickson Lubin at the end of our table. Any surprises to you in that round number one? You know, Hurd said he's going to be more defensive. A lot of times, fighters don't do that.
It was a more fill-out round for me, but Jarrett Hurd looked like he was in more control with his jab and his movement. We'll see what happens this round.
Bigger man hunching down. As you said, Paulie, may have thrown Rosario off a little bit to see somebody do that.
Well, especially Hurd. I didn't expect to see that version of Hurd in round one.
Leopards rarely change their spots. Usually by the time you're 30, that's how you fight.
Yeah, Rosario, when he's at his best, he's a very dynamic offensive fighter. Lets his hands go in good combinations, picks his spots well, has good power, fast hands. Never was a defensive fighter, not a very durable guy. Been stopped 4 times.
All of his losses by stoppage.
Repeat jabs from Hurd, too.
Hurd has only been stopped once. That was by a cut on his lip.
Yeah, we see that explosive power there from Rosario. Nice fast jab, landed a good left hook as well.
Talk about that offense is what Rosario wants to be. He tried against Hurd to use his jab effectively in round number 1.
And you see that explosiveness from Rosario. He's still got that. Snapping that jab.
Yeah, and you can jab with a jabber there. You know, we've seen Hurd use his jab, you know, very effectively tonight so far. We need to see more of it from Rosario. It seems like he's trying to get it going in this round as well. You know, the old saying, you can't hook with a hooker, but you jab with a jabber. And you get that jab going here to Rosario as well, because Jarrett Hurd has got that jab going tonight.
It's like it cannot miss. A piston in the face of Rosario.
I was going to say battering ram. That thing is heavy. He's throwing a nice, long, stiff jab. We saw that in the first round, and now we're seeing it more in the second round as well.
You see Hurd almost looking to set up that uppercut, right?
Yeah.
Erickson, you see it too?
Yeah, I see that.
And he's hiding it behind the shoulder.
Good slicing right hand over the top there. You see, like you said, Rosario bent over that front foot so much. Open for the uppercut, open for those slicing right hands over the top.
Yeah, he's front foot heavy here. He's falling in.
And just coming in the front door. Good shot there. Tempted, just fell short.
Watch him out, let him go. Let him go.
Two veteran fighters, both former world champions. 154 pounds, trying to get back on track here at middleweight. Our main event here at ProBox TV. Don't forget, download the app. Never miss out on your boxing news or Wednesday night fights.
Talking about how Hurd has been fighting more defensive posture, fighting out of that crouch position, using that jab. I want to see what happens when he gets hit with a clean shot.
Yeah, well,
does he keep that up, or does he go revert?
That's the real tell. But right now, I tell you, there's a couple of shots there.
Good left hook there from Rosario.
Rosario trying to walk through the jab and get his offense going. Eating up a little bit at the end of round number 2.
Cálmate. Pica, vuelta y ángulo. Juez y cuerpo. Juez y cuerpo, mijo. Está bien. Solo tiempo, juez y cuerpo. Excelente. Pero más jab.
And look, he can't fight going backwards. I wouldn't say, don't fully push it forward yet, but give it about one more round, then push him backwards. Don't let him get nothing through.
Siéntate, Tati, cálmate. Excelente. Condition increíble.
In the counter and shoot that uppercut, Jerry, I'm telling you. Jab, rock back.
Stay behind the jab. The advice for Hurd. Rosario looking relaxed, coming out of the corner. Round number 3. What is to both fighters a must-win fight. We'll get back to the elite level here on ProBox TV and former world champions.
I like the instruction for both corners, actually. Now, Bob Santos in the corner of Rosario saying hit that body, use that jab, but use that jab more. I agree with that. He had a good second round when he started out with that jab. And in the corner of Swift, they're saying use that jab, but also rip up that uppercut, which is exactly what we were talking about last round.
Erickson, he's kind of kept that right hand, the uppercut and the straight right, kind of in reserve. Kept it very, very close. Hasn't thrown it much.
Yeah, he was trying to hide it. He was hiding it behind the jab. He's trying to sneak the uppercut in. I think he can. Yeah, Rosario's leaning over his front leg like that.
There's a front foot heavy still.
Oh, there it was.
Again.
Good shot off the rope from Hurd.
It's also up to Rosario to recognize that Jarrett Hurd is trying to set him up for that uppercut. You know, he's got to stay alert in the way he's attacking as well. And he was really coming over that front foot like you were saying.
We're joined by Erickson Lubin. End of our table, of course, interested in the outcome of this fight. We'll love to fight either one of these gentlemen. Already a knockout win over Jeison Rosario.
Yeah, how was your hand feeling? I heard that you had a hand injury that you're getting over.
Yeah. I have a small contusion in my hand right now. And I'm just letting it heal. I tried to push back the Tim Tszyu fight. You know, they wanted it September 21st. you know, but we're lined up for something in December, so I'm excited for that.
Is that if he
wins
out of the Montezalia fight?
Yeah.
The IBF champion.
Yeah. So he comes out of that victorious. You're going to be fighting Zoo in December.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Can't wait to see that one.
Excited.
You heard it here on ProBox TV. Standing in the ring, starting to heat up. Jarrett Hurd versus Jeison Rosario. Hurd doing a great job staying behind that jab. Hasn't opened up with a lot of combinations yet.
It's funny, man. You know, we always thought that Hurd is such a big guy at 54 and someone who throws so many combinations, but he stays in front so long. I didn't realize how long his jab was. He's got a very long jab, and never really seen him use it like this.
Yeah, this is the change.
Oh,
nice right hand.
Very short, choppy right hand there. Looked like it stung Rosario.
And picking his shots very, very well. Real patient approach, but real clinical by Jarrett Hurd.
But when he chooses to go, it's very, I mean, that's why I think he's swift. When he chooses to go, it's fast and hard.
Yeah, shots is on the land.
Right hand now effective.
Again, hiding that backhand Hurd, I mean, when he lets it go.
As you said, Erickson, he was hiding it. Now it's coming out. That right hand starting to be a factor.
Absolutely. Starting to heat up now.
Hey, Jim, that up is there. You gotta shoot it. You gotta shoot it. Don't fool it.
The corner of Jarrett Hurd. Starting to open up with the right hand. Good combinations that last round, champ.
Yeah, there's that nice chopping right hand over the top, and that real short one. That was a nice punch selection right there. Overhand chop, and then boom.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good shot. Nice adjustment on the fly from Jarrett Hurd.
Starting to let off the chain a little bit, Erickson. Starting to throw those right hands, doubling them up. Great stuff from Jarrett Hurd. Taking on Jeison Rosario, round number 4.
There's going to need to be some adjustments they've made from Rosario.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the one simple one you would think he would use is the one I said a couple of rounds ago, which is you start using your jab, like right there. You can jab with Hurd. But even when he jabs, I mean, it's almost like he's shot. He's got no legs, champ, right? It's like he falls over his front foot even when he's jabbing.
Yeah, the balance of Rosario is not looking good.
Every time he throws that jab, look at that Pez dispenser, head popping right back.
Push out.
But even that more, it's the feet. It's the heavy plodding feet falling off balance. Still explosive with the hands up top, though, is Rosario.
Yeah, he has heavy hands for sure.
So you can see just the way Frankenstein feet moves his back foot up to his front foot, falls off balance. Ooh, good right hand and a body shot. Yeah. Good body shot.
See if we can build off that now. You want to know what Hurd does when he gets hit? Well, he's been hit a couple times now, champ. You know,
he stayed in the shell too. You mentioned their ages, Jimmy. They're not old guys, but you know they're older guys in our sport. But this is a good pace for both of them who haven't been that active.
As a great man once said, it ain't the years, honey, it's the mileage. Both these guys have miles on them. As you pointed out, Rosario, all of his losses have been by knockout.
He's looking more humble now with his hands, letting combinations go. This is where Rosario is dangerous, because he is dynamic with the kinds of punches that he throws, the combinations that he chooses.
Of course, Erickson leaving at the end of our table, knocked out. Rosario, what surprised you about his punches, if anything, when you faced him?
He has good punching power. He has good punching power. I didn't think he was very technical or nothing, but I just knew he could punch.
Yeah, he won the title by knockout of Williams, huh?
Yep. Yeah, he did.
5th round, I want to say. It's beautiful stuff.
Oh, nice roll counter there with the uppercut from Hurd. Again, hiding that right hand, that backhand behind the shoulder, rolling around with that counter.
Yeah, Julian Williams beat Jarrett Hurd. Yep. And that was a brilliant performance.
That was a career best performance. He really boxed
was
well.
locked on. He was in camp with us, Danny, and sparring with Danny Jacobs. And I mean, he looked phenomenal in camp. And I saw it right down. This guy's going to be world champion soon. Sure enough, his next fight was Jarrett Hurd.
Gonna bring that power to bear. It's Jarrett Hurd. It's Jeison Rosario.
10 seconds.
Much better round for Rosario.
As the jab has gone down, Rosario has gained in confidence, it seems.
There's Hurd trying to roll around with that right hand, but he took the right hand of Rosario there. There's a little hook there. Response from Hurd. That's the catch and shoot, except he took the shot instead of blocking it.
Take and shoot, I guess, is a little different.
Yeah,
that's the eat and shoot.
You gotta bring that right.
That's usually what we're used to seeing from Hurd, though.
Yeah, true.
It's a lot of this. You gotta bring that right.
Certainly, we're not dealing with defensive wizards tonight.
ProBox TV, round number 5, ready to start.
Jab, juegue y cuerpo, ángulo. Juegue y cuerpo. Perfecto pelea. Increíble pelea.
We're underway, round number 5. Jeison Rosario versus Jarrett Hurd, our main event of the evening here on ProBox TV. Jarrett Hurd in the black, white, and yellow. Jeison Rosario in the white, green, and gold. Former 154-pound champions now meeting at middleweight. That jab of Hurd, when he's had success, it's been off that lead hand.
Telephone pole jab of Jarrett Hurd, man. And it's long, strong. See, it pops Rosario's head up whenever he gets it going.
There's an uppercut there through the center, now working the body.
Oh, it's uppercut on the inside from Rosario. Splits the guard.
So a side step from Rosario there as well.
Yep, well, that's what the corner Bob Santos was calling for. He wanted 3 angles and hit the body.
Valuable weapon against a taller fighter, those body attacks.
Hurd starting to turn back into that guy, man. He's starting to come forward.
Yep.
Starting to try to make it to a battle of attrition and break Rosario.
Inching forward, throwing bigger shots.
This is what made him so difficult to deal with in his first championship run. Is just keep taking it to you.
He has said this fight is, quote, make or break for him. Interviewed him several times in the lead up to this fight.
I mean, Hurd at his best, he just never stopped punching. It was just non-stop, two-fisted assault for 12 rounds. Or until you weren't there anymore.
But it was clinical because he wasn't shooting everything so hard.
No, he picked the spots. Yep.
Constantly placed, just in a certain fashion where it was just.
He was just consistently beat the drum.
Whoa! Is that a slip? It is. Fell through the ropes.
Ropes are loose here. We got a little rope dopage.
That's why whenever I would come out, I would always check every rope. Whenever I come out before a fight, make sure if there's any soft spots.
And put your opponent in them?
Yeah, exactly. Stay off them and put them there. Rosario talking on the inside.
Oh! Good shot over the top from Rosario.
Big splash of sweat there. Good body shot from Rosario. You guys are scrapping here.
Fighter out of Santo Domingo starting to put it together, but Jarrett Hurd fighting back.
Hurd's starting to break out here, guys. It's starting to become that battle of attrition, but this is what Hurd likes.
Yeah.
Like all of the new Jarrett Hurd, he tells us, this is who Jarrett Hurd is right here.
Chopping right hands. Punctuate the end of round number 5 as we hit our halfway point of this 10-rounder.
have to keep your hands up.
Yeah, he's looking for that. He's throwing them overhands. He's going to start throwing them harder. All right, and he kind of landed. You got to bring that hand. But you got to be defensive.
This was in the previous round in the corner. That's why it was called a slip.
Yeah, he had Hurd along the ropes there. Rosario, throws an overhand shot, kind of clubs and forearms Hurd behind the head and pushed him out. There we saw actually a nice overhand right to the temple by Rosario a little bit later in the round.
Both fighters have shown those kind of quick shovel
they're both
punches
explosive. They're both explosive guys, and they're letting their hands go at times. But I think last round the respect is over and the fight has begun.
We're halfway through this 10-rounder in our main event. Jarrett Hurd versus Jeison Rosario. Opening of the fight, Hurd staying behind the jab, staying very disciplined. And as you mentioned, champ, last round the fight kind of broke out. Got to start throwing combinations, heating up.
See how the second half of the fight wears on now.
You would think that the higher pace would benefit Hurd, but it seems to me it's been benefiting Rosario because the jab of Hurd has been the difference on the outside. At this pace, Hurd is able to just touch with that jab all night.
Just like that.
But in exchanges, Rosario has been able to land some good punches. Looping shots from Hurd.
Rosario's trying to take away that jab of Hurd by backing him up, forcing him to fight.
Erickson, we'd like to see a little more volume maybe from Rosario in those times when Hurd kind of does this and kind of goes back to the ropes.
Yeah, I feel like Rosario wants the fight to be close, and Jarrett Hurd he actually wants to box a little bit more. I think it'll favor Rosario if Hurd stays right in front of him and take those punches. Rosario's a big puncher.
Yeah, you can see the heaviness in the hands. That was a good body shot again that he snuck in there.
Yeah, he likes it right there. I want to keep her right there.
Yeah. And he doesn't mind where it hits you. He'll hit you in the arm. He'll hit you in the elbow. He'll hit you on the hip bone.
Nice short right hand from Rosario.
Body shot again.
Once Hurd stops that jab, Rosario gets those hands moving.
Yeah, Rosario's having success now.
Round number 6, former world champion Jeison Rosario opening up a bit.
This used to be Hurd's home. Right now, Rosario's taking control on the inside.
Let's see though. I wait for Hurd. He can't help himself. He may start shooting him too.
And he's gonna have to. He's gonna get respect now.
It'll be an amazing main event. Lester Martinez, Roshan James, September 11th here on ProBox TV. Right now, we got a great main event. Round number 6, and Jeison Rosario starting to find his rhythm against Jarrett Hurd. Fighter from Maryland, former world champion, did great things with the jab, and now finds himself in a fight. That's where Rosario wants it.
This fight's close, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, look it. Look it. You're not.
Welcome back. Round number 7 here, ProBox TV. Our main event, Swift Jarrett Hurd versus Jeison Banana Rosario. That last round, Rosario starting to turn it up a bit, finding a home for the right hand.
That was a great round for Rosario. We landed some really big shots. It looked like a body shot might have stung Jarrett Hurd along the ropes, and Rosario was able to run off some really good shots.
Dos manos. Angelo Welter. Okay. Vamos.
When I heard that Bob Santos was going to be training Rosario, I was like, ooh, this fight has changed in my mind.
I mean, you notice a difference in the style of Rosario because for this fight.
I mean, I think both of these guys are fighting in a different style than we've been accustomed to them fighting, but I think the adjustments in between rounds from Bob Santos has been the difference for me. with Rosario, telling him to cut angles, hit the body. Everything that he said to do, he has done, and it's worked.
Yeah, it seems that when Rosario gets sort of neutralized at this range with Hurd's jab, it's almost like he's, again, to use that term, stuck in the mud. He can't really get going, and sometimes the round ends and he never gets going. But if he's able to close range, it's like you hit the on switch. Once he closes range, he doesn't stop punching.
Yeah. Then he lets those hands and runs those numbers up.
But at this range right here, Hurd has the ability to control him with the jab, change range, feint them out of position.
Generally, when it's been single shots, it has been Hurd who's controlling, especially with his jab. Rosario with the combinations on the inside. That's been the difference. That's been the ebb and flow so far. Of course, joined at the table by Erickson Lubin. You agree with Chris about the adjustments for Rosario. It looks like he's listened to his corner like that, angling. He's had more success, yes?
Yeah, he's had way more success. He's bringing the fight to Hurd now. It's the second half of the fight. It's time for both of these guys to fight now.
Both of them have described it as must win.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jarrett Hurd doing good stuff with the jab, but not as many combinations inside, Erickson. It seems like when they're chest to chest and close, it's Rosario who's throwing more punches.
Yeah, like I said, he's having success on the inside. Hurd wants to keep it on the outside and box a little bit more and use his jab because he's having success with the jab. He really can't miss with it.
Listen, both y'all. I said stop, no punch. Not retaliate. Keep it clean, gentlemen, okay?
Hurd's not letting the combinations go on the inside. He used to be such a good combination puncher. Tonight, the jab has been very efficient, but on the inside, he just seems one step behind Rosario.
Oh, good combination there from Hurd.
Hurd's had himself a pretty good round here. He's had a couple of moments, but overall it's been a good round. Even early part of the round where he dominated with the jab. Rosario tries to steal it back here.
When Hurd lets his hands go, good things happen. He just gets caught with his hands in his pockets at times.
It's like both fighters, when they commit, are having success in combination.
And in spots, I mean, Hurd has to bring back the old Jarrett Hurd. In spots, he's got to take it to Rosario and back him up. I understand you want to be the new Jarrett Hurd, but you can't completely abandon who you used to be. In the little moments we've seen Hurd just start to walk down Rosario, it looked really good for him. I think in spots, he's got to make that decision. Just in spots. Rosario, when he had Hurd up against the ropes, it was a good exchange there.
Nice chopping overhand right from Hurd. Biggest shot of the round between the two men there. Not having trouble finding each other, that's for sure. Bang.
Into the corner of Jarrett Hurd.
Just to get off. We'll go directly back to your jab. All right? Continue to test the body. How you feel? Sit. Deep breath. Deep breath.
You heard the advice, Erickson. Go directly back to the jab. Go back to what's been working in the fight.
Yeah. That's exactly what he wants to do.
We're in a round number 8. Erickson Lubin, of course, joining us at the table. Outstanding fighter. He's going to be taking on Tim Tszyu later on in the year. Can't wait to see that fight. Oh, the hand heals up very, very well. But Jeison Rosario, a guy you know well, you knocked him out, but looks as though Hurd staying behind the jab, but only throwing in combinations, as Paulie said, he's only throwing in combinations in spurts.
This fight's very close. Very close fight.
Can Hurd make his life easier and just do this? Or will Rosario force that close range fight? And again, if Rosario forces that close range fight, is Hurd going to show us some of that old Hurd? Because Hurd used to live for that. When guys would take it to him.
I was going to say, Paul, I mean, Hurd can punch, is allowed to punch on the inside as well. So even if he does get in there,
it's almost like he's trying to avoid it at all costs here. Again, is that the age? Is that you don't have the same fire where you just, I remember at the end of my career, I was trying to win fights by not losing them instead of fighting fights to win them. I was trying to just be crafty and see if I could get hit as little as possible and try to, get out with a win and get on to the next one.
as opposed to when you're young, you're trying to just consume your opponent and destroy him, you know? So I feel like Hurd has a little bit of that. He's a little older, trying to be crafty. Looks like he's trying to win the rounds by not losing them.
But it's the guy against a guy in Rosario, known for his combinations, known for his punching power, and his defensive vulnerabilities.
Rosario,
good stuff from Rosario.
So relaxed coming forward, just picking his shots. It seems like once he gets past the jab, he's really not worried about what else is coming back at him.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Jarrett is not really biting down like that, you know?
Nice stiff jab there from Hurd.
Erickson, if you're in Hurd's court, you want to see more of those right hands after the jabs. The jabs landing well, just like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see the right hand more body shots. Keep going to the body.
Looks like both guys can still punch, that's for sure. We can hear these shots ringside. Some punishing blows being exchanged.
It seems like Rosario a little more willing to fight in here.
Yeah, this is close, man.
And neither guy's been able to really separate themselves and step into the lead.
Winging right hands from Jarrett Hurd. Rosario coming right back at him.
10 seconds, let's put a bell, 10 seconds.
Under 10 seconds left to go in a very, very close fight here in our main event.
Grab him. Ante inteligente. When guy in la cuerda, you know, waiting, no, pica, adelante, desire, gana thing, pica.
In the corner of Jeison Rosario and a very effective round number 8.
You see a nice jab there from Jarrett Hurd. At that range, when he's able to land that jab, he is able to neutralize the offense of Rosario. That stiff, long jab from Hurd has been really effective all night long, but the consistency of its use has been in question.
2 rounds to go in this 10-rounder in our main event. Our guest, Erickson Lubin. 2 rounds left to go in a very, very close fight, man. What's the advice you would give to both guys at this point?
Just bite down. It's time to win these rounds and win them convincingly.
Yeah, if you want to make one last run at the title, which is what both guys have said, you already have the ex-world champion moniker on your resume, so the chase for a second world title is a little shorter than it is for a guy who's trying to go after his first one. Your name can get you a title shot if you just perform in these kind of fights. So you test yourself now. I mean, you basically got to remind yourself, if this is what you want to do, if that's what you want to go for, this is where you got to show that, you still have that hunger.
Big shots being exchanged here. Looks like both of their corners told them what we're saying out here. You got to go for it.
Hurd, we were talking about he hides the right hand, but now he's actually got to take it out. He's hiding it too much. You know what I mean? Like, it's staying hidden. And Rosario throws those overhand rights. There's the opportunity to come back with a roll counter uppercut if that's what he's hiding it for. But he's keeping it way too hidden now, is Hurd. And Rosario is taking advantage with those real choppy right hands.
It's funny, champ. You're saying, oh, look, he's setting up the uppercut. He's setting up the uppercut. Was he, or was he just not punching?
He came out once or twice, but certainly not enough for the amount of times he's been hiding it.
Hurd's going forward now.
This is Hurd right here. Now let's see if he answers it, because Rosario's answering. This was the kind of Hurd that you used to love to see, and he would get excited for this. This is what he would live for. He was very comfortable in this kind of fight before.
Can he sustain that attack? Good combination with Rosario answering back.
I'm surprised by both men, honestly. Hurd is much more explosive and faster than I would expect, and Rosario is much heavier handed. He just
that body shot hurt him.
Towards the grill.
Rosario hurt, right?
That body shot hurt him.
That hurt him. Rosario backing off now. You talked about this vulnerability, champ, and Rosario vulnerable to the body.
Hurd said that in our interview. He said he's been weak to the body. You know that's going to be part of the game plan. Finally comes out here in round 9. What is that? I know nobody likes it to the body, but some people really cannot take it to the body.
Man, that's the one target you can toughen up, essentially. You can't toughen up your chin.
So, I mean, you know it's going to happen eventually. But some guys just they can't take it to the body. Ooh,
nice right hand.
Pop and roll.
Sneaky one there.
Yep, pop and roll. It's nice. Ooh, and then back comes Rosario with the overhand.
Rosario's not as smooth. He's a bit cumbersome, but he lays him in there too.
Hurd opening up a bit in that 9th round. Our question was, can he sustain that aggression? He didn't. He tried to temper, landed some good stuff, then went back to the jab. So we get ready for our 10th and final round. Last chance for the corners to give instructions.
Don't let him hit you with shit and win this. This is the last round. This is the last round. Do what I did last round. Yes. But off the jab, a little bit more jab and finish strong. Don't let him get shit. Don't let him get shit. Don't give him nothing, Jarrett. And don't get hit with shit. Move your fucking head after you punch, all right?
Don't give him a motherfucker.
It's your last round.
Mira, importante this round. Y jab, mucho en el cuerpo. Tiburón. Inteligente, pero tiburón. Let's go, tiburón. Inteligente.
Jarrett Hurd's round a bit more passionate with their advice. We saw round number 9. I want more of that. Last round, last chance for both of these former world champions.
I think both these guys got to go for it here.
Yeah, this is where you find out if you really want it. I mean, you came back for this, right? So in a close competitive fight, you don't want to take a chance and lose this last round.
Jarrett Hurd in the black, white, and yellow. Jeison Rosario in the white, green, and gold. Close fight. Do not know who's ahead at this point.
And how hungry you fight this last round will also show a lot in terms of where your intentions are for this quote-unquote comeback.
Awesome explosiveness from Hurd in round number 9.
Yeah, it's the comeback real. We'll find out here.
Just pushing.
That was a push down.
Hurd down, yep.
Rosario trying to bring it, though. He's
showing that he wants to win.
Petite from both men here.
Hurd right now fighting like he's got the lead. Rosario pushing it a little bit more.
Nice uppercut on the inside from Hurd off the ropes.
Is he being busy enough to be able to fight on his back foot like this in round 10 though?
Oh,
a little chopping right hand from Rosario there.
That was a little feint and throw with the right hand.
Again, this Hurd is checking out of this fight almost.
Yeah, like I said, he's fighting like he's got it won.
Right.
I wouldn't do that. I mean, this is a hard fight to call. A lot of back and forth rounds, a lot of rounds where one guy looked like he won and the next guy came back and won the next round. And then other rounds that are just hard to decipher.
This is a good round for Rosario so far, guys.
1 minute left. Can Jarrett Hurd get it back?
But is Jarrett Hurd even getting the memo? There's a good hook there.
Ooh, another good combination from Rosario. Hurd backing up to the corner.
Oh, nice uppercut and body shot.
Nice shot there. Nice jab. Big round for Jeison Rosario here, guys.
Yeah, he's really bringing it. Hurd getting hit with a lot of right hands.
Also, Hurd not engaging much. He's trying to disengage as more pressure comes to him.
30 seconds left in the final round.
If he wants to win this round, he's going to have to fight now. We were asking for the old Jarrett Hurd in these spots, and this is the kind of spots where you need to see it, but once again, it's almost like it's timid.
Yeah, we saw it in flashes, but nothing sustained.
10 seconds left. Whose comeback is for real? We're about to find out. Good round for Jeison Rosario. The question is, was it enough?
These are going to be some interesting scorecards.
Erickson Lubin joining us at the table. You're interested in both of these fighters. What do you think of this performance, and who would you give it to if you were a judge, man?
It's close. It's close. Right now, I'm edging towards Rosario. I think he put out the last half of the fight pretty good. But
and he wanted
Jarrett
it more.
Hurd did his thing in the beginning. Yeah, he did want it more. He finished the fight strong.
And that's the thing about Hurd. If Hurd doesn't win this fight, he's going to kick himself because some of the new things he was working on, they were okay. They looked good early on. But then it was a matter of, okay, when Rosario brought it to him, he did have to show that he had to dig down and fight. It wasn't going to be given to him like it was early on where he was sort of being crafty. And he didn't show that he was willing to step up to that level. Saw early on that beautiful jab there from Hurd. Even those little range changes, those little stutter steps going backwards. I mean, good control there with his jab.
Yeah, I mean, even around two. He showed a level of boxing IQ and distance control that I wasn't really familiar with from Hurd. But Rosario, man, he just kind of forced the action, moseyed his way in. I think you said cumbersome, right, Jan?
Yeah.
That was a good description of the tactics that Rosario used to get himself inside.
And there were small spots where you saw the old Jarrett Hurd right there where he starts putting together shots. Even if you're throwing at him, he doesn't care. He's coming forward and ripping into you. But it was just fewer and further between, especially as the fight would wear on. And Rosario started getting at that close range and started to really make his presence felt.
Yeah, I mean, both men had success in spots. More activity from Rosario, but some of the bigger, cleaner, eye-catching shots were from Hurd during those exchanges. And when he was able to get the jab, talk about eye-catching, you're popping his head up like a Pez dispenser. But Rosario really pushed in the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, and these last rounds could be big here in the fight. You know, like I said, if Hurd comes up on the short end here, even if it's a draw, Hurd is going to be kicking himself because he kind of just gave these away, especially 10. I mean, 10 he basically just gave away.
I agree.
Very passive in round number 10. The one job you don't want in boxing is being a judge. People only remember when you get it wrong, but did they get it right? We'll find out. Jim Sorensen will make it official for our main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, give it up for these fighters! After 10 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Joanne Richard scores this bout 96-94 in favor of Jarrett Hurd. Judge Michael Ross scores this bout 96-94 in favor of Jeison Rosario. And Judge Jed O'Connor scores this bout 95-95 for a split draw decision.
I can agree with that. Yep. I can agree with that.
Yeah, well, that's what I said too. Remember, I said if Jarrett gave it away, or even if it's a draw, because I could have seen that as well, as I just said, I say he's going to kick himself.
Erickson, how big was that 10th round where Hurd just kind of took it off?
Yeah, he needed that. He needed that round. He would have won that round. He would have won the fight.
But I'll tell you something else. Okay, I'll tell you something else. I said earlier in the night, it's not just that you win this fight, you also prove how much you really want this comeback to end in success and to end at a championship shot or a world title fight. When you're eating at home and you get that call for the fight, I'm telling you, I've been there. You're like, oh, I could do this, man. I would. But then you get in camp and you get in the fight and it's late in the round. You just don't want to push yourself the same way anymore, man. And you can see it in Jarrett Hurd. You see Jarrett Hurd like that, man. Jarrett Hurd would break you. Instead of round 10, he was just waiting for. It's like he was counting the clock. Like, yo, let's just get this round over with. He had no care for winning the round, and it cost him the fight because those scorecards. If he wins the 10th round, he's gonna win the fight.
Chris, one of those, can't take your punches home with you. It looks like that's exactly what Hurd did.
Yeah, but I think it's all more about what Paulie said. I mean, instead of not even taking your punches home, you left them at home. You left them in the bag. You left them at home. You didn't bring them to the room.
You left them on the first go-around, man. Yeah. You left them on the first run he had. And listen, this is not necessarily a criticism. Jarrett, this is something that happens as you age a little bit. You know what I mean? You have that craftiness. Like I said earlier, you fight not to lose instead of to win. I'm telling you, and that's what Jarrett Hurd was doing. He's fighting not to lose instead of to win.
Erickson, we've appreciated you so much.
Thank you, guys.
And he didn't lose.
He drew. Did not.
He drew.
Erickson Lubin, thank you so much. Can't wait to see you fight Tim Tszyu later in the year. But that'll do it for us here at ProBox TV. But September 11th, that's right, Lester Martinez versus Jeison James in our main event. Can't wait for that one. Lester Martinez looking absolutely fantastic in the super middleweight division. It is a division stacked with stars. Lester Martinez wants to be one of those top guys you think of for sure. An incredible night of fights tonight. Dychko looking great in our heavyweight opener, winning by knockout. And then Kevin Piedrahita putting up a fight, but Dominic Valle putting on a boxing clinic, able to win that one in the super featherweight division. Our co-main event, Michael Angeletti versus Geraldo Valdez. Angeletti finally getting it done halfway through the fight and opening up punches in bunches. In our main event, Jarrett Hurd versus Jeison Rosario. Both guys in a must-win situation walk away with a draw. Great night. Thank you so much here at ProBox TV. We'll see you next time.